Howdy, 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 hi. Oh no.
Hody, hody. I don't remember.
Hody, hody,
Hody,
hody,
hody, ho. That's what it is.
yes.
I knew what I was supposed to do, kind of.
Well, that is it's actually kind of cool that you know some of the words to that. But welcome to all of you watching to the JillStream. I am Antonio Bryson. Of course, this is the hold on, I'm pointing in the wrong direction. Yeah, because
I do that too all the time.
Yeah, I go.
I have to point to nothing over there.
Yeah, I'm pointing to. but that is the Jill of the JillStream, and of course, like I said, I'm Antonio Bryson. I'm a comic book writer. You can catch the JillStream right here on this channel every Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But Pacific.
Yeah, I know you California people. Anyway,
but for me,
I know.
This is 6 business.
Well, I'm not in the East Coast. I'm on Central Time. So
Central, okay. Yeah. So you're Central, I'm Pacific.
But I just say New York time, so that way I can just keep everything, if I start going mountain, I'm in mountain time, all this guy.
No, but it's always
there's a lot of people in the West
That's like the standard in the United States. It's like everything has to start for the East Coast. It's like pay-per-views and just any sort of pay-per-view you ever want to watch around here. So it's an afternoon ordeal. It's not an evening thing.
Didn't think about it. Yeah.
It's like it always starts around like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Well, there you go. Yeah. All right. So if you are listening here on this channel, you might be listening to us also on one of the streaming platforms, which you can find at anchor.fm/Akari Press, or you can catch us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and about 12 other platforms as well. And going back to the anchor.fm/Akari Press, that we've installed the voicemail feature now.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so you can go to anchor.fm/Akari Press and you can leave a voice message, and if it is good enough, I will be screening these, obviously.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you never know, man. You open it up and they're like, hey, you can let your listeners leave voice messages for you. And I'm like, okay, this could be bad. But yeah, anchor.fm/Akari Press, and then hit the message thing, and you can actually record a little voice message, and we can.
I'm sure it can always be turned off.
If it is, it can be. But if it is decent, I will actually allow Jill to hear it.
That's the way to go, because I don't care unless you deem it interesting enough for me to hear, honestly.
Okay, so like I said, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well. We are also on Planet EJOBN on Facebook. We're streaming to them every week as well. So we say hello to our friends over at Planet EJOBN. And we're also on youtube.com/Akari Press. That is the actual URL to the YouTube channel. But if you are watching us on one of the other platforms and you actually leave a chat comment, like say you're on Twitch or on Facebook watching, and you chat, it should show up here. We've had a few people, hit that thumbs up and everything. I see.
We have a couple friends. Oh, TJ Swan's back. TJ Swan.
He was missing you last week. TJ
yeah, where were you?
Yeah,
I'm sure you were busy.
Yes,
important things. I'm sure.
I was like, Jill was like, I didn't see TJ Swan, and I was like, oh no, that's not good. I was like, oh okay, but TJ is here today, so okay, well, welcome TJ Swan. Well, Jill,
what are we doing today?
I don't know.
What's the topic? I mean, you threw a couple things out.
Well, yeah, there's a couple things because I've had some weird adventures in online dating. And also,
which is fascinating to me because it's not my world. So any story about that is
not my world.
Crazy to me.
But we also, I definitely want to touch on Chadwick Boseman's passing.
Yes.
Yeah, that surprised me. Although, what was it? About a year ago, he had done something. He had been at the NBA All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
emaciated a year ago.
That's what Yule was saying too. He's like, I remember, seeing him at something, and he just didn't look well.
Yeah, he didn't look good at all. And there were all these memes coming up like that he got AIDS or something and all this it was all the stuff that was going on. And who knew? Because some people were saying, oh, no, he's not sick. He's shooting this. There was a movie apparently that they were going to shoot. And I don't think that he was getting prepared for it, apparently.
Oh, I don't know. They're saying he was pulling like a Christian Bale or something.
Yeah, well, he was playing. Halloween. It was set in feudal Japan, and it was supposed to be dealing with a black samurai, which I've actually heard about. There's some historical documents about a couple of Africans or whatever that went over to China or Japan, like 1,000 years ago, 800, 900 years ago, whatever, and actually, was introduced to some of their martial arts styles and stuff like it. So there are. Matter of fact, there's pictures of there's a few Japanese people that are super dark. They're like dark, like they might have that, what they call it, African phenotype. So and I saw a picture, and this dude, he had his eyes were Asian, but his skin was dark. He was darker than me. And
like Mongolia, like in Mongolia and stuff, like a really darker skin. People always just assume. I think people in our era, like let's say these 100 or 200 years, it's like people always think that like everything was always super like separate or something. When throughout history,
spread out,
people wandered all the time. In mass groups and not in groups, and there were darker people that happened to go to Asia and other places, and then they just kind of migrate. So to this day, you can go and you see some of these places. Hell, like you go over to India and stuff. There are places where you see. Matter of fact, I was watching. I think it was what's that? Vibe, not Vibe. Vice. And they did something. Apparently, there's some kind of color cast system over in China and stuff. It's India too. There's lots of countries where skin color is such a huge.
Yeah, but these were Chinese people. They were dark. They had my skin tone. These were Chinese people. They still had the straight hair, but they were considerably darker than a normal Chinese person. And apparently a lot of those people get discriminated against and it was the whole thing. So
I never understand why people it's like we all have our, maybe not everybody, but like we all have favorite colors, but like I enjoy the rainbow, why can't
rainbow? Like
that dark skin's beautiful and that light skin's beautiful and that middle skin's beautiful. Like, I don't know. I don't get that. And it's just ingrained in people, I think. I don't think that's a natural way to feel. Hate people for shit like that. It's ridiculous. It's stupid.
Well, yeah, and I definitely agree. But getting back to Chadwick, but apparently he was going to play a black samurai, and they were saying that he had lost some weight for this, but in reality, the reason he had lost weight is because he was battling cancer for since 2016, they said. So even when he shot the first black, because it was like he did Civil War, and then they were getting ready to actually do the Black Panther movie, and he got a checkout up before the movie was about to begin filming, and when they did the checkup, they found out he had like stage 3 cancer, colon cancer. And obviously he shot the movie anyway. And a few others. He shot that Thurgood Marshall movie, and he did a couple, and there's one on Netflix now where he's playing. There's one on Netflix. He's got one movie I think that's on Amazon Prime too. It's like he's been, he shot a couple movies where, he was still sick, but yeah, when there's a pretty famous photo of him, like I think it was done last year. He was talking about Jackie Robinson because he played Jackie Robinson in 42. So he was wearing the 42 hat, and he had just did like an Instagram video talking about the Jackie Robinson Day or whatever that MLB and people around the country were celebrating, and he clearly looked ill. And people were like, some people were taking that and making memes of it and all that. And it was very interesting to see Clark Peters. You know, since we do Wire Wednesday, I think this ties in. Clark Peters, who plays Lester Freeman on The Wire, did one of Chadwick Boseman's last films. It was with Spike Lee. It was called the Five Bloods. It's on Netflix right now, and it's set in the Vietnam era, or part of it is. It's like they show Chadwick Boseman is like the unit commander or whatever of the unit. They apparently found some gold or something, and they buried it, and they come back like 35, 40 years later to find after,
is it like younger actors and then the older actors are playing those characters?
Chadwick's character died or whatever, and they buried it. And it is, so they come back as older versions, and Lester is the older version of one of these characters and stuff. But he actually talked about he was on Good Morning Britain, and some people got mad at Clark for being. I actually found it refreshing. He was very honest. He met Chadwick, and he said I was excited to work with Chadwick, and then when we got done with the movie, my wife asked me about him, and Clark admitted that he told his wife that he thought Chad was a little precious. And the interviewer asked, there was a man and a woman interviewing him, and they asked Clark why he said Chad was precious. He said, we got there, and he's got like a masseuse person. He's got someone that's giving him massages every day, and they're, he's got to work out and do all this kind of stuff. And he did not know that the reason they were doing that stuff was to kind of, they did, they're
keep
trying
him healthy.
They're trying to keep him healthy. Right. The movie.
Right.
And Clark, he actually got tears when he was talking about it, because he felt so bad, because he was like, I did not realize he was battling colon cancer. At that time, it was because even when they diagnosed him back in 2016, I think they said it was stage 3 then. And by the time they were shooting the movie, it was getting into the stage 4 range.
That is actually really refreshing, just to connect with, as somebody who grieves, you have different thoughts about things, and to admit things like that lets other people kind of know. It's like we all have thoughts, and we don't always know what's going on in other people's lives. You have to remember, it's like, I can think someone's an asshole. There might be a reason for it. That may or may not change my opinion on the matter, but that's just, this life happens and we're all dealing with it. And it is nice to hear someone admit, like, I didn't know. And that makes me sad that I had that thought,
Yeah. And that's, like I said, I thought it was, I thought, but like I said, some people on social media were like getting mad at Clark I was like, man, that dude was super honest. And I respected him for being honest and saying, look, he said, I just didn't understand what that young man was dealing with.
Right. He was saying he didn't know. Like he didn't know.
Yeah, he thought,
I appreciate that.
Because he even said, he's like, maybe all that success he got from Black Panther went to his head. It's like, and he just didn't understand, that.
But it's him saying, Clark saying that it's like a teaching moment for people to just reflect. It's like I
said, I found
you don't always know what's going on, and I didn't, and I was kind of a jerk about it in my own head, in my own life.
Yeah, and
then I wasn't.
But he said that his interactions with Chadwick, he was actually a nice guy, and he was like, I'd like to work with him again on something else. There's a big group shot of them with some of the actors and stuff, and Chadwick, Chadwick's like kneeling down. They were all in their uniforms and stuff like that. And I don't know. I haven't gotten through the whole movie. I watched some of it, and I like the trailer. I'm a big fan of Spike Lee movies anyway.
How come? I always find that fascinating when I don't understand putting on a movie and not like been like watching the movie. That I never people that do that, I don't get it. Like, explain that to me. Is it because it's too heavy? Is it too heavy, or
here's the thing,
or is it your attention span?
Yeah, because like a lot of times I put on stuff that I can kind of watch along with while I'm working and packing comics and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times Spike Lee movies, you have to actually pay attention to what's going on.
You have to watch it. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I don't want to ruin this movie, so I don't want to just kind of go through it. I want to actually know what's going on. And you start saying, it's like, man, this looks interesting, and I'm kind of half in, half out. I'll get up and go to the restroom, blah blah blah. I'm not, I'm like 30 minutes goes by, all this kind of stuff. So I kind of want to actually know what's going on with the film. Yeah. So I decided, I said, okay, I'm going to watch.
Like put time aside to actually.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch it. I'm not going to pack anything. I'm just going to sit here and actually enjoy the movie. So I'm planning on doing that, but I need to get through a few more of these packages so I can.
Are you a popcorn person? Do you like popcorn?
Oh, I eat. As a matter of fact, I just finished off a bag of white cheddar, the smart food or whatever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That stuff. They had a big sale. They had it. You get a big old bag. It was like 2 for $3 and stuff. And I bought a bag and paid like $1.50 for it. I was like, oh man, this is great. This stuff's like normally like $2.99 or whatever.
I love it, but it's horrible for my gums.
So. And I tell you, oh yeah,
I'll always eat popcorn and then like it's like 6 months to a year later before I eat it again.
But also like, although I've been looking, I use Instacart a lot, which has been very helpful during these times. Instacart, where you have a shopper and they go to the store, they'll go to like Publix or Walmart or wherever and shop for you and grab stuff. So right now, I've been using a lot of Instacart, and I'll get on there. I was like, oh, let me get a pot roast. Let me get a couple cans of biscuits. Give me a chopped onion, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go through there. Oh, give me a pack of pork chops. A little couple packs of hamburger meat.
See, my grocery experiences during this time have actually been quite great. Going to the grocery store, I have to admit, it's my grocery store. Like they have way more checkers now, so it's like the line, like everything's just smooth. Everyone's just like doing what they're supposed to do, which is like shop for your groceries. Like I still see some like kids running around touching and like everything. I was like. I never understand that, but whatever. I mean, I know kids are supposed to be kids, but my goodness, you can tell them no.
Yes, you can tell them no.
But my grocery store shopping excursions have actually been quite fine. I put on my mask, I go, I do my thing, and I don't know.
No, I love it.
Even the checkers actually seem more pleasant. Like it's interesting. It's very interesting around here at my grocery store.
I would like to make some chicken and dumplings this weekend. Let me get some chicken breast and get a couple of things and get, things like that. And because I'll make it in my crock pot and I'll just hit everything I need. And then about 2 hours later, I get a knock at the door and there's some nice person there standing with 5 bags of groceries. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Now, what if like they don't have what you want, or like they get the wrong brand, or do you just take what they give you, or how does that work?
They have a thing that they scan. So like if they scan the wrong, the machine knows, because I've in the store, when you're in the shopping cart app, it lets you pick out those specific items. Mm-hmm. So like when the shopper grab, it'll go, it let them know it's not the right thing.
Now, if they don't have something, do you know before they leave the store? They'll have that, or
when it'll message you and say, it'll be like, Amy has started shopping for you, and then sometimes the shopper will be like, hello Antonio, my name is Amy and I'll be your shopper today. Is there anything else I can add to your order for you? And I was like, yeah. I was like, Amy, I forgot to add a pack of strawberries. Can you get a pack of? Yes, Antonio, I will go to the fruit section and get you a pack of strawberries.
Do you tip? You tip, right?
Yeah. You definitely
tipping situation, correct?
And I've been a lot more generous because of everything. Because especially after talking to some people, that are waiting on tables and stuff. And remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you about going out with my buddy Tracy, and we went and he tipped that young lady $50. She got all choked up. I mean, we spent $200 on food. Just my entree was like $32. Yeah, I got prime rib, and then I got a cup of tea, and I got some kind of weird knockoff fruity Long Island iced tea thing. So, and
Did
that
you
was
get
like,
dessert?
no, I was too full.
Really?
Just eating because
When we go out to a place like that, we usually just force ourselves to get dessert. My family usually, it's like,
I barely was able to get
we'll get
what
a
I
couple to
ordered.
share.
No, I was barely able to get to because it was so funny because Tracy was like he had pasta. He ordered something. It was an appetizer too. It was shrimp and pasta, some kind of weird Italian dish, and then his main thing. He ordered salmon, but he was like, "No, I had salmon the other night. Let me get halibut." So he ended up switching the salmon to halibut, and they brought him a nice. And I mean, the halibut was like $25. Mine was like I said, it was 30. My plate was $32 just for the prime rib that I ordered.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I had prime rib, and it was it wasn't cheap.
Vegetables on the side or all the sides. Was it like have you ever been to a Ruth
Chris Steakhouse?
Like everything is a la carte. Like you don't get a meal. You have to order the sides separately.
They have it.
Oh, it really adds up.
I could have swore we have one either in Memphis or Nashville, but they're like they're not prominent.
They're usually spread out. Yeah, like there's like maybe if there's one around, it's in some sort of big city.
Matter of fact, we will see a Ruth Chris Steakhouse, if I'm not mistaken, in season 4 of The Wire.
Oh, really?
When Bunny Colvin is doing the school program, working with the youth, and some of the kids
it's good, but it's expensive.
Oh yeah. And
like the steak will come out with just a big old thing of butter on top. Like it's just like
they have a contest on the show. And
that's actually you saying that's coming back to me. He takes the kids there.
Yeah, he takes them out.
Okay, I'm remembering.
Take them out to a Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Yes,
you can tell it's a nice place.
Fancy as in it's super expensive. I mean,
and my buddy Aaron, he just got back from Florida. He normally goes down there with his father every year. And they go to spring training when they do the baseball season, but a lot of that stuff actually, I think they did go down there when they did the Grapefruit League a couple months ago, and then it got shut down now. But then they weren't sure if there was going to be an MLBC. Obviously, they came back, and they're just doing the empty stadiums or whatever. But
yes, I've heard some. I won't name names, but I've heard some complaints about this baseball season, and I would like, oh, it's short and this and that. And I was like. But it was going to be nothing. Like, why not just take what you're given and just enjoy the games that you're going to get?
Tell Yule, because I know Yule is like an insane baseball fan. Yeah, tell your hubby.
I was like, seriously, But if it wasn't going to be that, there were going to be no games.
Yeah, it was going to be no games.
So it was going to be nothing. So why complain about the games you're getting? Like, just enjoy what you got.
And a lot of people are enjoying that. Well, because like hockey came back for the playoffs, you got in Predators. My Predators got eliminated in the first round. That sucked.
What is the Predators? What city?
Nashville Predators.
Okay, I don't know hockey at all.
Yeah, so the Predators got bumped, and I was like, God, man, we've been getting out of the first round the last like 5 or 6 years. It looked like when we make the playoffs, and we actually went to the Stanley Cup about 8
playoff mode. Is that true? Is like hockey just in perpetual playoffs? Because every time I hear about a hockey game, it's always like, oh, it's like the very early rounds of the playoffs. There's like 100 games to go or something. I'm like, what is that shit?
Well, they have. I'm trying to think how many. I think they do play about 100 or so games. I don't know. They play a lot. They play a lot of hockey games.
It just seems like they have lots of playoffs, or the playoffs always seem really long.
It's like. 3 rounds, and then you get the first round, the semi, and then you go to the play. Yeah, it's just 3 rounds. It's standard. 3 rounds.
It's just how I perceive it, knowing nothing.
So it's 4 rounds total. You get the first round, and then the conference round, and then the finals, and then you go to the championship.
So they're already out. Your Predators are.
Yeah, they went out in the first round. That's why I was like, unfortunately, they weren't very good this year.
Did they change hockey like baseball, like so with like less
Well, I
playoff
mean, there was
games?
a lot of games missed, and it was based on
Yeah,
kind of seeding and stuff like that.
yeah.
So, I was a little, I wondered how the Predators would do
Sports
because,
fans are very passionate. I understand.
well,
I
plus
kind
they
of
had been
don't
off for
understand.
a couple months, and I was like, we're never like big record team. I never just watching the Predators. We're never a big record team. It has to, we kind of have to fight on the road. We're like pit bulls. We have to we'll like barely make it into the playoffs by the skin of our teeth, maybe a game or two, and then we get in the playoffs and do something. And that's kind of the way these Nashville teams, the Titans are kind of like that too. We barely got into the play. We like got into the playoffs by like a game last because we didn't win our division, and then a couple of teams lost, and that put us in position to get that final seed. So we were going to New England to face Tom Brady, and they was like, "Oh, the Titans aren't going to last. They'll get beat by Tom Brady and the Patriots." We won. So I was like, "Oh yeah, we won." And so then they go, "Okay, well now y'all got to go to Baltimore,
Right?
you got to go play. You got to go play
more games."
So now you're over. So because everybody was like, the Ravens are going to the Super Bowl, so this is a wrap. So we went to Baltimore and won that, and it was we dominated that game. I was like, man, Derrick Henry had a great game. It was just destroyed them. And then they said, okay, well, now it's the AFC Championship. So now you're going to Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and all them boys, they about to tear y'all up. And we went in, and that first half of the game, we were dominant. We had a 20-21 or something, the 24 to something lead. We were winning, and then Patrick Mahomes got hot and just destroyed us. He lit us up, and then he went on to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. So, but we went from barely making the playoffs to almost getting to the Super Bowl. So I was very happy, but I don't know how we're gonna do this year. I don't know how. Yeah, I'm curious about, but especially I'm curious how sports are with everything with the NBA playoffs. I haven't noticed the difference. People love the ratings for the NBA playoffs have been amazing.
Really,
and there's a lot of like DraftKings, a lot of sports betting. So when you have just like there's a lot of sports betting on Major League Baseball, so. Yeah. So even though there aren't the crowds, the money is being generated now because now you can do fantasy betting and stuff like that. It's like, oh, bet on LeBron and this is
they're
running
basketball's huge for sports betting. Like, yeah. That makes me. Do you remember the Beverly Hills 90210 episode when Brandon got addicted to basketball gambling? Sports betting with basketball. Hilarious. That made me think of that. That
was not good. So that was weird. He's like, oh, he's got rich guy problems, Brandon, like, that kind of thing. And then,
and he's also a high school kid. So what? It's like his allowance or whatever.
They actually made a movie about. There was a guy that got arrested. He was at. I'm trying to think. He was at one of these like Ivy League schools or whatever, and he was running a sports betting franchise. He was like all these little rich white kids. He was just.
Was it like a made-for-TV movie or something?
Yeah, it was. But it was based on a novel.
Like based off of real.
Yeah, it was a real story.
Based off of a true story. They would always. Yeah, we kind of talked about that like a week.
Because he got interviewed on like Real Sports or something in 60 Minutes, where they actually talked to him about. He was talking about he was generating like $200,000 a month taking bets from people. But then you kind of see what happens. Someone decides that they're not going to pay you.
Right.
He had a couple of guys whose job it was to make sure that the people that said they weren't going to pay you.
Right. Then you're really delving into true criminality.
Yeah. So like that. Yeah. I mean, his whole story was interesting because he was like, oh man, this guy got into me for like 80 large, and he wasn't able to pay, and we had to had to go see him. That kind of
had to do something with some thumbs and legs.
Yeah, he got to, certain people started talking to the police and let them know because
it all comes to crumbling.
like, hey, should I pay this guy the $100,000 that I owe him, or should I go talk to the police and say that he's illegally shaking people down for gambling debts and stuff like that? So that's the kind of stuff he had to deal with. And then you also get into situations where on a few occasions, because I know this guy was actually looked like he was working for a couple of like mafia people or whatever. And there was a couple times where they end up having to go to an athlete and get them to do some point shaving and stuff. But yeah, the whole story, I found the story fascinating. I was like, yeah, a little, just a little TV movie. If I find that trailer, I'll have to send it to you, because I think, matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the
TV movies, those are some classics, whether you remember them or not. Just the fact that they existed.
Well, there's one that was, I think it was made for one of the Hulu or one of those services as well. And I thought Dominic Lombardozzi, because he's always in game. He's from The Wire. He plays Herc in The Wire, and so he's got that bald head and all that kind of stuff. And he's obviously Italian, so he's in a lot. There's a lot of games. Yeah, Lombardozzi.
Wait, who? Which? I think I'm thinking of the white dude, I guess.
Yeah, Dominic Lombardozzi, and he plays Herc. He did the detective Herc or whatever, And but yeah, I've seen him on a lot of other movies. He always gets cast as an Italian gangster or something, like working for a family. He's like kind of thing.
He just looks like he comes off more. Again, this is just by eyesight. It's like he just seems like more like a white dude. He looks more like Boston Irish or something to me than like
but he plays that too.
Sure, that makes sense.
He plays. I've noticed when he does like movies, he plays like he plays a lot of gangsters though, like Irish gangster, all of, because but he plays a lot of a lot. I didn't think he matter of fact, he was on The Sopranos 1 or 2 episodes. I thought he was on.
Was he?
Yeah, he was actually on The Sopranos. He was on The Sopranos. I think he was on The Sopranos before he was on The Way. I mean, like I said, it was just like an episode or so. But yeah, I've seen him, but he's played a lot of cops, because he played cop on The Wire, and he played but he was on Power. He was on Power, which just ended, which the new. Well, that's something I'm interested in. This Sunday, Power Book 2 Ghost is debuting, and this is when.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Power Book 2 Ghost.
And this is a show, or
it's a spinoff of Power.
Okay, gotcha.
Like the main character Ghost was killed in the final season of Power.
Okay, spoilers. Is this a newish show, or?
Well, I mean, if you see the trailer,
if anybody would. I'm just wondering if anybody would care that you said somebody died.
Well, I mean, if you watch the trailer to Power Book 2 Ghost.
Okay, you already know that.
Yeah, he's not on the show. Although I'm curious if they're gonna have him come back and how they do the show where the one character dies and then because it has a lot of the characters that were on the main show. And like the guy that played Ghost's son is on it, his wife is on it, and then but it's mainly told from the son's perspective, where he's kind of dealing with the aftermath of his father dying, and then his mother got arrested, and so he's trying to get his mother out of prison, and Method Man's on it, playing the lawyer that he hires to get his mother out of jail. Method Man all clean cut, looking with his suit tie with the lady. I was like, I saw that trailer, it was crazy. And Mary J. Blige is on there, which I love. Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is on there. She's playing somebody. Look like she's in the game, and that Ghost son goes to her.
Yeah, Method Man. He's like, yeah.
Cool. Method Man is on there. Man, I matter of fact, I want to see if I could get Method Man to come on. I would love to talk to Method Man. I'm a big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan, and so
he looks like the picture I'm looking at right now. It could be like, is Power like what sort of a show is it?
It's about, the first Power is about a guy named Ghost, and him and his friend Tommy. Tommy's like an Irish dude. His friend Tommy's like an Irish guy, and he was a poor white kid that was living in a black neighborhood, and Tommy kind of got picked on a lot, but Ghost, who his name is James St. Patrick, Ghost liked him. Ghost was like, yo, he's like, I like dude. Everybody else was picking on him because he was a white kid in the black neighborhood. And but him and Tommy got along when they were kids. It was like for Tommy, Ghost was like his only friend. He was like, these other black dudes was beating me up or trying to beat me up and mess with me. And he's like, Ghost always had my back. Like if they was trying to scrap me, Ghost would hop right on in there and throw them do something.
So this is like a drama program.
Yeah, and so as they got older, they start working for this guy named Kanan Starks. Kanan Starks was portrayed by 50 Cent, who was the executive producer on Power, along with what's her name, Courtney A. Kemp. That's her name. So Courtney A. Kemp and 50 Cent created Power, because I know Courtney A. Kemp. She wrote a movie for The Rock. She's working on something for The Rock as well. She actually flew out last year, and there was photos of them. They took pictures together. This is obviously before the COVID, but she actually sold a script to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson that they're supposed to be putting out, but they haven't came out with all the details of what the movie's about. Because I love Courtney A. Kemp stuff, so I'm like, whatever they're working on, I'm gonna watch it. So, but yeah, Ghost and Tommy start working for this guy Kanan Starks, who is an older street guy, and you know he's got some connections to a couple of like mob guys that are helping him get like drugs and whatever. And then he's got Ghost and Tommy working for him. And Kanan tolerates Tommy because of Ghost. You know, Kanan's like, why you bring this white boy around? And Kanan's like, I'm looking after him. Don't worry about it. You know, I got it. You know, because he's like, why are you bringing this white dude around? He ain't one of us. Why are you bringing him around? And Kanan is telling that to Ghost, but Ghost always looks out for Tommy. Like he's like an older brother to him and stuff. And so as we get into the first episodes of Power, we see that they're both adults now. Kanan is in jail. Something happened, and Kanan mysteriously got pulled over, and he had a car full of dope, and he was surprised. He was like, whoa. And they sent him to jail for like 15 years. And so at that point, we find out that Ghost and Tommy have continued to run the empire, and they got a big empire where they are big time drug dealers.
Did they set him up, or I mean, is that part of the show?
Yeah, that's kind of, you find out that Ghost and his wife now, Tasha, had done something, and they like picked up the phone and snitched to the police, and they pulled Kanan over. He didn't have those drugs in his car, and they planted the drugs in his car. So they knew, they let the police know where he would be. And then, but Kanan didn't understand at first, and then he figured out that Ghost betrayed him. So when Kanan gets out, it causes a war between him and Ghost. So he was like, yeah, he gets out of jail. He pretends, because Ghost loves Kanan, but he felt like Kanan was a little hard-headed. And that he didn't really, Kanan kind of, it kind of reminds me of The Wire, where you see someone like D'Angelo Barksdale, where he
sounds a bit Wire-ish.
Yeah, where Kanan is hardcore stone cold gangster. A guy like Ghost, he was a gangster, and he's wanting to get out of the life. He's wanting to go into legitimate business, and he actually opens up this nightclub called Truth. And Tommy, he lies to Tommy, and he goes, because Tommy's like, what the fuck are you opening this club for, man? We in the game. And he was like, we can use that as a front to, because they owned a couple of like laundromats in like Chinese neighborhoods and stuff. They were using those like kind of coin operated laundries. They were using that to wash their money, to wash the drug money. And then
that just sounds like The Wire to me.
Yeah,
I mean different, but I mean that's the sort of show it is. It's like a Wire.
So you kind of get conflict between Ghost and Tommy, because Tommy starts going, Ghost, what's up, man? You don't want to be in the game no more? He's like, no, man, I'm trying to do something legitimate. And he's trying to bring Tommy with him. And Tommy says, no, man, I'm a gangster. I'm like, Tommy's like the hardest white dude I ever seen. That dude is like, no, man, I'm in the game. And this is what it is. He's like, why are you trying to get out? We're the bosses. He's like, we worked hard because they start street level and they end up becoming the bosses. And then when they get to that level, Ghost is like, okay, I want to take this money and I want to get out. I don't want to be a drug dealer no more. I want to do legitimate business. And he's like, no, man, we in this. Ain't no getting out. This is for life, man. And so that causes them to have problems. And then so the whole thing, like I said, Power is dope. So by the end of Power, obviously Ghost dies. Because we keep all through the seasons, we see where Ghost.
I won't be watching this at all anymore, right?
I was like,
at all. You're telling me everything. Why do I need to watch it now?
What? No, because I haven't told you everything. There's so much stuff I haven't
season
told
1, I don't need to watch.
No, tell me what happens in season 1 if you know.
I don't know. Ghost dies.
Ghost no, he doesn't die, and you have to see the journey. And there's there's so much. Like I said, there's so much good stuff there. I haven't even mentioned the ex-girlfriend.
And so they're going into the second season.
They're going to the new show.
Excuse me. Spin-off. Okay. How many seasons of Power were there?
Power had
6 seasons. Okay.
Okay, so it had 6 seasons. Went off the air.
Gotcha.
And so the last season was them trying to figure out who killed Ghost. It was like a who shot JR type thing. And so, I mean, they kind of played it like that. They were like, well, maybe this person killed Ghost. Maybe this person. So they don't let you know who killed Ghost to the last. But so I won't spoil that. And then
I'm just giving you a hard time.
But either way, I know. Either way. But so the things that happen in the very last episode of Power ends up rolling into Power Book 2 Ghost. And so you see where Ghost's son he decides he wants to be a gangster like his father was. And that was something that started happening in the later seasons where, because he was sitting there, he was trying to do completely legitimate, and he was shocked. His son started finding out about like street stuff, and he was like, no, I'm setting you up to go to private school and go to college and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, no, I want to be a gangster. I want to be out in the streets. And he's like, that's not what
they're going to take the same. Do you think they're going to do like the exact same story with the kid?
Well, you kind of see. It is actually.
I would say I hope not, even having not seen it.
The reason I say that is because in the like season 5 of Power, his son was at a private school and he met this white kid that he was dealing drugs.
Oh
with.
man!
I was like, it was funny because I was sitting there going, okay, it's clear that they're setting up another Ghost Tommy dynamic. So you see Ghost and he takes this white kid on as a friend and starts like dealing drugs with him and introducing him to that gangster lifestyle. And then so it's the same thing. So they introduce a white kid, and that white kid is going to be on Power because they already showed him in the trailer. So it's the same shit. So I was like, okay, so he's following in his father's footsteps. Although the path will be a little different because
I would hope so because
it'll be because Ghost is obviously gone. And then he's dealing with his mom. Tasha's locked up. And then like Mary J. Blige is apparently the connect. She's hooking him up with drugs or something and doing stuff. And then you got Method Man trying to get Tasha out of prison. And so, I mean, it airs this Sunday. The first episode is airing this Sunday. So I am, matter of fact, there is a watch party for Power Book 2 Ghost that is being hosted by Joseph Secura on Saturday night. Which I'm going to look for that as well. Joseph Secura played Tommy on Power, and they just announced that Joseph Secura has his own show too. They're giving him
why not?
They're giving him a Tommy show. Because at the end of Power, he moved to California, and we didn't know what it was like. Oh, damn! He just drove off and going to California. So now we're gonna pick that story up and see what happens when Tommy moves to California. So we're going to see because Tommy, like I said, Tommy ain't interested in not being a gangster. Tommy is a gangster. So they were dealing with like Russian mob and all these kind of people. So I was like, there was Italians and Irish mobsters and different. So there was all kind of different gangsters. They had the Spanish gangsters and all this. So Tommy loved being around, and you'd always see the same thing. He's like, you see he go deal with the Spanish people, and they'd be like, "Who is this white boy?" They'd be goofing, and then somebody would end up getting messed up because they was fucking with Tommy. So it was like they be underestimating them stuff. They was like, "Oh, he's just a white boy." Next thing you know, they end up
Mexican
in a
or Spanish. Are they Spaniards?
It was Puerto Ricans. It was like the Puerto Ricans. Yeah. So Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, stuff like that. So, but I mean, Tommy, like I said, Tommy had no desire to get out of the game. He was very comfortable with this gangster lifestyle. They'd be like, Tommy, the police are looking at us. I don't care. If I got to go to jail, I go to jail. That's the game. He was harder. It was crazy because like Ghost really was trying to get out because Ghost was like, look, Tommy, I tried to look out for you, and then now you still want to live this lifestyle. So they kind of got to a place where they was like, oh, you go your way, I go mine, and then stuff happened. But I love the dynamic between them. So I was happy to see that Joseph Secure. So they're actually doing like 3 Power spinoffs. Yeah, they're doing 3 because they're doing Ghost, they're doing Power Book 2 Ghost, and then they're doing Power. What's the hell? I can't remember the name of the Power show that Joe Secura's got. Because the one I think it's called Tommy. I think it's called Power Tommy. And then they got another one that's called Raising Kanan. And that story actually is going to have Sean Penn. Sean Penn's going to be a character on that show. Yeah, he got hired to
finally making it around to TV, huh?
Yeah, that was a big thing. I mean, he's got like 2 Oscars. I know he's got at least one. I thought he's got 2, but he's got I think he has 2. And this is the first television he's going to be doing, and he's playing like a mobster that kind of mentors Kanan Starks. So they actually showed a clip of it. They started the COVID shut down a lot of this stuff. So they actually they shut down. Just
like the gangster world, like is that just like because like The Wire does like all these different angles, right? Like to kind of keep it interesting, at least to me. Like sometimes shows like this I don't care for unless there's some sort of like it's another gangster show. Like,
well,
I care?
I love the character.
Like, is it good enough for me to care?
I think so. From what I saw, because like I said, I saw some of the Kanan show, and it looked very interesting. But I didn't see any. I don't think they shot anything with, because the way it sounds like with Sean Penn, he's very expensive. And
I bet he is
on the show. But it sounds like he's going to be like a scene here, scene there. He's not going to be like, it's like he's going to get like a million
little mentor scenes sprinkled.
Yeah, he'll show up and like Kanan will need to go talk to him for guidance and go get drugs or whatever from him, and he'll go talk to Sean Penn's character.
Sure,
and then he'll go back because they also have a young Ghost and young Tommy on Raising Kanan. So you'll see him as the older guy, and then you'll see Ghost and Tommy as younger guys that come up under Kanan working for him. And it'll show like when they first got into the game. So it's set like in the like late 80s, early 90s. That's the time.
It's gonna be throw some nostalgia in there.
It was like I saw it looked like they were like playing like old school hip hop and stuff like that. And it's set in New York and the whole deal. So it's
could be good, it could be bad.
A lot of that stuff is not going to air till next year, but the first one, Book 2, Power Book 2 Ghost, that one is starting to air. It was supposed to start airing in August. It was supposed to like the first or second week of August it was supposed to start airing. It got pushed back because they aren't able to shoot as much stuff because of the COVID and all this kind of stuff. So it got pushed back. And now
I was scrolling through some channels yesterday, and what's that show? Restaurant Impossible. Gail Kim's husband. Gail Kim, the wrestler.
The wrestler, the Hall of Famer, yeah.
I can't remember his name. I always just think of him as her husband.
That's the British. He's a British dude, right? Though, isn't he?
Something. He has some sort of accent, but. Yeah. It was obviously filmed around this time because, like, the two restaurant owners come around the corner and they're both wearing masks. And they're all social distancing and, like, they're doing the show. But, like, I was like, oh shit! Like, I was like, yo, look at this! Like, this is shot during COVID. Like, look at this.
Well, I've talked about.
I just haven't seen that yet, really.
Well, the YouTuber Dame Drops, he's shooting a television show that he says won't air until next year. So, but if you follow his Instagram, they're going around the country because he was in Los Angeles. He went from Los Angeles to Denver, and then he went from Denver to St. Louis, and then he went from St. Louis to Alabama, and I thought they shot around Birmingham somewhere, and then they went to Georgia, and he says he hadn't been home to see his wife in like 2 months, he said. Yeah, it's like he's actually a real nice guy. He started following me on Instagram, and I could DM him sometimes, so he'll actually answer me back. But he's a busy dude. But yeah, he went from they just left Georgia, and he's going to Ohio right now. And he said, okay, so we're gonna shoot in Ohio. Oh, wait a minute, they went from Georgia to Baltimore. So they went from Georgia, let's see. So yeah, California to Denver, Denver to St. Louis, St. Louis down to Birmingham, Birmingham to Georgia, and then Georgia to Baltimore, and then Baltimore to Ohio. He said, I'm gonna shoot in Ohio for a week. He said, we'll shoot in Ohio for a week, and then I get to go back to Connecticut and see my wife. Finally, after that, he's like, yeah. Because he actually shows on like some of his YouTube videos and stuff. They have all this testing and stuff that they're doing. All the camera people are wearing their protective gear. He said, anybody that wants to, because you see a couple of times where he's filming and people are like, oh man, I see you on the Popeyes commercial, and they want to hug him and stuff. You can't get near him. He said anybody that wants to come. He said he did a couple of pictures with people where they kind of do like a weird distancing thing, like no touching, all of, I can't be hugged up on you and stuff. I know you. I'm
sure with filming, there's all sorts of different unions you have to deal with and stuff. So.
And he gets tested a couple times.
I think it's better for everyone involved for health reasons and for legal reasons down the road that they should just do whatever they can. Like they're covering their own ass for the most part.
Yeah, but he's taking at least 2 COVID tests a week. It looks like
a week.
Yeah, a week. Every week every time they go, they get their temperature taken every day. All the crew, anybody working on, because he's talked about this stuff. They are going extensive to shoot the show, and like I said, it's not, they got to edit it. It's not even airing until next year,
right?
And it was I thought it was very interesting because he actually showed a COVID test on camera, and they do the thing with the long Q-tip, and he had to lean back and do all that. The thing was crazy. I was like, oh man, okay. And but I know he getting paid, thousands and thousands of dollars to do this show because he has a wardrobe. He showed the production company had a connect with Nike, and they sent him some brand new Air Jordans. They sent him a couple of boxes of Air Jordans, and he actually opened them on Instagram. He's like, "Oh man, just got my kicks delivery." And I mean, they opened up the back of the truck, and he had like 3 or 4 boxes of Jordans, and they were brand new.
I'm sorry, who are we talking about again?
Dame Drops.
Who?
The food guy. Daym Drops.
I don't know who this person is.
He's on the Rachel Ray show.
Oh, okay. You've mentioned him before. Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah, he's like say he got like 1.3 million people on his YouTube.
I live in my own world these days. What can I say? Like that's why I need to be told things. Like I need to be told what's going on.
Anybody that has, you may not know who Dame is, but if you've been watching TV and seen that Burger King Whopper commercial, he's the only guy, and he's like, he's like, I'm just gonna drive off before y'all realize y'all made a mistake or whatever. That 2 for $5 burger Whopper deal. He's in that. He's in the Popeyes.
Okay, yeah, okay,
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah.
Because he's been talking about. He's like, some people had recognized for YouTube, but once he got a national commercial, because he's done commercials for McDonald's. He did commercials for Taco Bell. He's done a couple of. He said, but for whatever reason, he said a lot of those were like local commercials. He said this Burger King is a nationwide commercial, so it's going all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And so, matter of fact, I was watching AEW Dynamite the other night, and for like the last 3 weeks, they showed a Burger King commercial in there because
I'm sure I saw it because I was watching it too. So I'm sure I saw it, but just not
his
paying
Burger
attention.
King commercial. He said, "Man, so many people are wanting to stop and take pictures with him and stuff because they're seeing him on the Burger King commercial."
Has he been on any other food shows besides Rachel Ray's show? Like, does he pop up on any other sort of food people shows?
Because I was like, he was on the Food Network on Rachel Ray's show. She was doing because he's
So he may have popped up on some other Food Network things here and there.
Because he's been, well, I know the things I saw him on was with Rachel Ray because she actually has him on like once or twice a month. And matter of fact, she had like some kind of restaurant menu, and she named a sandwich after Dame drops.
What's in it? Do you know?
I can't remember. He's like, she took pictures with his kids and stuff.
Sandwich.
Yeah. He goes on there all the time and stuff. She was doing something. She was doing something on Food Network where they had the little kids. You know, they do the one show where the little kids cook or whatever.
Yes.
And they brought Rachel Ray was one of the judges, and she brought Dame in to like.
See, I may have seen that. Like, I feel like I've seen him on other Food Network things for sure. I bet I've seen that episode of that stupid kid show.
Episode uploaded. So he's like, man, I was on. But he met her the first time, and then she just liked him, and she was like, hey, would you like to come on my talk show and do stuff? And he was like, yeah, I'll come on. And so it started where she bring him, he's like on there like at least once a month now. She'll have him come out to New York.
Sometimes all it takes is your personality, man.
Yeah, she's taking pictures with his daughter and stuff. He's got him and his wife have a little girl, and she take pictures with his daughter and stuff like that. She seems like a really sweet person. And I know Dame is
Rachel Ray?
Yeah, Rachel seemed like a really sweet person. And I know I was talking to Dame about her, and he was talking about how nice she was. He's like, man, she's super.
Do you remember her? I think one of her very first shows on Food Network was like $40 a day or something.
Oh yeah,
living on, and it was like kind of ridiculous. Like it was like, or it was like $20 a day. It was something. It was like,
yeah, I think it's 20.
Or the whole day on $20, and it was all these ridiculous, obviously pre-set up things. It was like, oh, I won this trivia to get a free cup of coffee or something like along the way. It's like,
well, I mean,
okay,
so I got $20.
But it was fun.
I'm in San Francisco. I've got $20, and that's yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. So
it's ridiculous.
They figure out.
Good luck.
But she always. I watched several episodes of that show, and she was at wherever city they go into.
Yeah, it always works.
She's able to find a place where she can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah,
for a total of, and they
add
usually
everything. She finds like partial parts of it just like totally free somehow. Like somehow she'll just stumble across like
it's like, oh, this
free
place.
Food.
I'm sitting there going, my boy lives in Chicago. I don't know where she's going to get this food. And you know what I'm saying? She's talking about how expensive everything is. So okay, well this brunch is only $7.99, so I can get for $7.99. And I was like, okay, so you're not tipping these people,
right? Exactly, or getting something to drink because that's another $2.99.
Yeah. It's like they tax
more.
your ass on these drinks and all this kind of stuff. So yeah,
actually, I think she drank a lot of water on that program. It's like I'll have a glass of water.
Water is always free.
Yes.
Water is free. But then like a salad and all. But I actually thought that, like I said, a lot of those shows are available on the food. I subscribe to the Food Network YouTube, and you can go on there and
do they have full episodes of those old ones?
Yeah. You can watch. Yeah, you can watch some of that content. So and a lot. My favorite show on the Food Network was Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Oh my God, the Triple D.
Yeah, Triple D, man, Guy Fieri.
It's always on. Always on.
What was it? In 2016, I went to Memphis in May with my then fiance. And we went to Memphis in May, the barbecue festival down there. And there were like 3 or 4 joints that they had reviewed on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And I said, hey, let's try to find these places. There were 3 places that we actually ended up going to. One of the places actually had shut down.
Oh.
So one of the places had shut down, but we did eat at 2 places that had gotten reviewed by Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
That's fun.
And
they have like little pictures on the wall, like with them and Guy Fieri.
They were making sure that everybody was like, "Hey, we were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives." They let people know that they were on that show.
There was my brother-in-law had a phase like years and years and years ago. I think even maybe before I even met him, but he used to have like spiked blonde hair, and he's kind of like a tall, bigger dude, and people would always call him Guy Fieri. Anyway, it's funny.
But yeah.
Did you have you realized his other show, Guy's Grocery Games, which is like Shop G Drop?
Like that, but I've watched it. I don't
but
enjoy
that
it
one
much.
he calls Triple G because it's Guy's Grocery Games.
Yeah, I've watched that one. And
Triple D and Triple G.
And I had a guy you could
two different bra sizes, very large bra sizes, but I mean Triple G, that would be big. That's a big cup size.
I dated a young
Triple
lady.
D, frankly.
I dated a young lady with a double E cup.
Double E, yeah, that's big. Big cup, big boobs.
Yeah, and she was talking about having breast reduction. I was like, no.
She's probably miserable.
She complained about the back pain. She complained about the back pain.
I mean, think of how heavy, it's extra poundage on you.
Also, but
carrying that around.
But I must admit, it was rather a good time when we were doing the deal. I enjoyed watching those
It was
things.
Good for a boob man, huh?
Oh, it was funny watching him like flop and hit her in the face.
Oh my god.
So funny. I was just like, we'd be sitting there doing it, pap, pap, pap. Just like hitting her in the face. So that was
you didn't
always
laugh at the time, did you?
No, well, it wasn't funny. I was having fun. I was like, it turned me on. I was like,
you're like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, but it was. I told her, I was like, I like them things. It's like I do like a porn movie version of Dumbo.
Now. I'm getting rid
I was like, like Dumbo had the big ears with flowers. Like I'd like to do an adult film version with the chick has.
I bet it's been done. I would be surprised if it hasn't.
It was like,
I would be surprised.
Boobs
even with a guy with two big balls or something. Like it's got to have been done in some way already. Has to be.
I'm just, I just
Is he
know
called? No, was Jumbo also a movie in its own right, or was that the name of a real elephant? Jumbo was right.
There was a movie called Jumbo.
We'd have to call it something else. I was thinking Jumbo, but that's probably a copyrighted something already.
Yeah.
Anyway. Something else.
Trust me, there's a way. There's got to be a way around it. But yes, she had double E's, and her bra, she couldn't wear regular bras. She had to go to. There was a one place that's custom made bras for plus size girls, and I told her because I didn't know how to take her. I didn't know how to take her bra.
Had a lot of hooks. Was it like a big?
Serious hook action. So I'm sitting there trying to take the thing.
There's like 5 to 10 hooks like in a row. I'm sure. Yeah.
Here's the thing, because I gotta be honest, I'm not very smooth with the ladies. I gotta be honest about it. I'm not. So I'm like, I'm very, we're making out. Okay, now let me. And she's waiting on me because she knows once my hand goes back there, she knows I'm trying the move where I unsnap her bra. And
I probably would have unsnapped it at that. Like I bet she's dealt with this before too. She should have just been like, ugh.
Yeah. And this was so funny because she had a different bra where it was hooked in the front, and then I was like, oh. It doesn't hook in the front. So I was like, okay, so now I got to go to the back. So I'm like, oh, we're making out. Making out. I slide my hand back and I'm caught.
What is this? It's like a Chinese finger trap.
She looks at me. She's like, and all of a sudden she's annoyed. She's like, hold on, baby. And she goes back there and unhooks it. And then she's like, are you happy now? And I was like, yes, I'm very happy. I was like, oh God, I'm glad she didn't decide. It's like, oh my God, I was about to have sex.
I don't think that's a reason. It would be like a silly reason.
I'm just saying, I'm not very smooth. I'm not very Mac-ish. I'm not a player. I wish I was I could see stuff like Revenge of the Nerds, and I was like, that's me. It's like that's what I'm not a smooth ladies man type guy. Like I said, especially as because I dated her for about a year and a half, and during the time that we were together, I got more comfortable with her, and we got more comfortable with each other. But
Yeah.
boy, those early sessions when I was like, oh my God, she's like,
did you finally master the double E bra or no? Like,
yeah,
did you
once I
finally figure it out?
work actually held,
Or did you just go, wait a second, and like walk around the back and like just do it like that?
Like we had sex, and then I got up and I went to the bathroom, and her bra was on the ground, and I picked it up, and I was like, and first of all, the bra weighed like 2 pounds.
Yeah, sure. For a bra, you've got to have underwire for boobs like that. And if you're wearing a bra, like, yeah.
And you can see when she took the bra off, it actually looked like the wire actually kind of cut into her skin a little bit. It was,
yeah, I know. And even with any size, it happens. Like, bras suck for that reason. Like,
yeah, and I could not believe it. I said, "Oh my God."
People get really weird about sometimes like women that don't wear bras or this and that. And I get it, because I think, as we've discussed before, as we know, men like nipples.
Yes,
so, if you're going to walk around braless, you have to understand that. But at the same time, bras are so goddamn uncomfortable, okay? Like, they're not fun to wear all day long. They just aren't. Unless you're really the sort of person that doesn't care. There are plenty of people, somebody that would wear fucking corset, not me. But they're just uncomfortable. You don't want to wear one all the time.
There was a grandmother that used to come into my old store when I worked at Mapco. And she was like, she looked like she's about 55, 56 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she got to that place. Her stuff literally was on her stomach.
That's the other problem, yes.
Going, if you go walk around without one and they're on your stomach, it doesn't really look appealing. You come in and your stuff's all the way down here. And
you know what? But if you don't care, who cares?
Yeah, she don't. Yeah, but
maybe she didn't care, so good for her. Like,
would see her. It's like, damn.
Yes, but that is a problem. But why? Because it's like I said, they're fucking uncomfortable. And if you're not trying to catch a man or whatever, or woman, sometimes just go fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. So, but it was, I waited on her for like 10 years, so I was used to seeing her. I was there at that store for 10 years, and so I was used to it. But I had customers going, "Geez, put a bra on, man. Damn."
Right. People always have opinions about bras, and it's like, you know what? This is one of those situations where let the old bitch do what she wants.
And there was another one,
and I wouldn't even say 55 is old. Come on now.
Well, there was another.
How old are you?
I'm 45.
No, 45.
And so, but I had another
customer. We're getting close, okay?
Yeah, well, it was another young lady, and she would come into my store, and she was about 24, and she had a little son. She had a son that was like 3 years old or whatever. But she was a waitress. She worked at IHOP at one point, and then she lost that job. She kept going through waitresses' jobs. I saw her working at IHOP, Olive Garden.
I worked with plenty of women like that. I had a few different restaurants.
She kept going.
There's always a reason why they float around.
She would come in because she smoked American Spirit cigarettes. That was her thing.
Classic.
Oh, do you like American Spirit? So
no, I've known people throughout. Like, it just made me think of a few people in my head. That's all.
But she would come in the store, and she didn't wear bras. She didn't wear bras at all. Or which at least I'm assuming she did at work. But she was rather well endowed, and she would wear tight shirts. And she had double piercings. She had piercings.
Oh, real? Yeah. Wow. Okay. So when you know what? But see, that makes sense, right? Because if you have piercings and you're just in your everyday life, like, besides sexual reasons, right? You're gonna want, like, they're there to be shown off to a certain degree. So why would you, like, you'd wear a tight shirt and show them off, right? Yeah, kind of makes sense to me.
Guys would be looking, but I mean, she had a husband. I mean, she was, but it was. I'd gotten to know her over the course of a couple of years, and then I found out that she was, her and her husband came in, and they kind of started telling me stuff that she was bisexual, and so they're doing whatever. I was just like, oh yeah, sometimes she'll have a friend come over and
I'm curious if they're still together.
Oh, they're still together.
They are. Okay, good for them. Good for them. Okay, so it's like.
They're very happy.
It's an actual real like partner fetish that works out. I don't mean fetish, but like they're both into it and it's working.
Yeah, so that's his wife has relationships with other females, but there are no other. He's the only rooster in the hen house.
Right.
Well, yeah, that works. But he would always come in. I guess she's probably got to be like 38, 39 now.
What do these people look like?
Well, she's kind of.
Are they attractive or are they hideous?
Oh, no, he was definitely attractive, and
what about the husband? And I don't say I'm a dude. I don't pay attention to that. Like come on.
Kind of like scruffy, like kind of a scruffy beard. He worked a regular job and stuff like that.
Well, that doesn't tell me what he looks like. He worked a regular job. That's such a dude answer. He had a scruffy beard and worked a regular job. I'm picturing him in my head right now.
Kind of like dirty blonde with at least some full C's. At least some full C's.
No, I'm asking about what the husband looked like.
I'm like, yeah. Well, my bad.
I mean, was he decent enough that you'd believe that they're pulling in some women, or are they just pulling in some hideous hoes to fuck? Like,
it wasn't like he wasn't like some little slob guy where you was like, oh my god, how's he getting her?
Okay, it was a believable coupling. And
yeah, they look like but then when they started
believable coupling, not that you can't be in an unbelievable coupling relationship.
It's like some people would look at some of the hot chicks Mick Jagger would get, and they'd be like,
yeah, but he's a rock star with tons of money and like piles of drugs and other things that they're into at the time.
Yeah, this guy, like I said,
that's different. That's different.
Yeah,
What about my mom? Always loved Rod Stewart, and like never in my life could I understand like older women loved Rod Stewart, and I just look at him and he's hideous, like. Ew, why do you like Rod Stewart? Like,
I like
weird to me.
Kind of raspy sound to his voice.
I know, but like, I guess that's it. But like older women, like women my mom's age, like just thought he was like sexy. She used to take us to Rod Stewart concerts when we were younger.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My parents took us a lot of places with them when we were young.
I gotta ask.
And Rod Stewart was a concert I went to several times.
Wait a minute. So let me ask you this though: did she take Rod Stewart concerts when he started singing like the standards and stuff? When he started singing the older songs?
She's seen Rod Stewart so many times. I mean, she saw him in like Vegas a couple years ago, and she said it was pretty lame, but it was it was Rod Stewart.
He started singing like the standards.
She's seen that, yeah. She's seen the good and the bad, or the good if you like it.
Because I was like, I remember I was a little kid and I would see Rod Stewart on like MTV and stuff. And then like when it got into like the late 90s and stuff, he started to sing songs from the American Songbook or whatever.
Oh my goodness. Was it that early when he started doing that?
Yeah, he started doing that stuff and I was like, oh God.
Well, I say that early, but I mean he's pretty old, and at this point
he's got to be. If he's not 70 already, he's got to be late.
Oh, he's definitely in his late 70s.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm going to look it up real quick, but I bet you he is.
Yeah,
but I've been to like.
I mean,
I've seen Rod Stewart in concert like at least 5 times, probably more than that. Like as a young child.
Before you tell me the answer, I'll say he's 74 right now.
I'm looking up.
Saying he's 74.
74. Okay, let's see here.
74 years of age. That is my guess for Rod Stewart. If you want my body.
Very close. 75.
75. Okay, so I was like
45.
I knew because like when I was like 10, he looked like he was about 30.
Right. Yeah. He was.
And so I'm like, you have to add. And you think I'm sexy? Come on, baby, let me know. Bring over some of your old Motown records. Put the speaker in the window and we'll go on the roof and listen to the radio. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. I love.
My mom had all the cassettes, always in her car with a Rod Stewart cassette.
No, I love, Rod Stewart, man. Infatuation.
Yep, infatuation.
So I would get into Rod Stewart, man. He was the man back there. Him, There was an old photo of him and David.
He always has like some hot blonde wife or whatever.
Oh,
anyway,
man. He was married to, what was that one chick, Rachel? I can't. She was a Australian model.
Some model.
They're divorced now, but they had like at least 2 kids or something together. I mean, just I think she was the woman in the Stacy's mom video. Do you remember that old video? Stacy's mom.
Oh my god, there's like a whole like spreadsheet of like his relationships and family. Hold on. There's like so many here. Rachel Hunter is the
Rachel Hunter, yeah. Oh man, I remember he married Rachel Hunter because I remember her in the
marriage. But he's had many relationships.
But I remember he was married. He was with Rachel Hunter for a long time. That wasn't a. Yeah, I mean, he was.
We were at least married till 1990 to 2006. So
yeah, well, 16 years, and like I said, I thought
they
had 2 kids together, at least 2. I thought.
Yeah, 2. I see. It looks like a boy and a girl.
Yeah, because I was like, she was, but she
another girl, a boy.
Mom video. She was the hot mom coming out of the swimming pool and stuff. Stacey,
he has 8 kids. It looks like I'm counting up 8 children.
Just like Mick Jagger has at least 5. Because like I saw Bianca Jagger and some of these. Mick Jagger has spread his seed around as well. So I was like, so saying Rod Stewart has 8. Yeah, it's like that shouldn't shock. What they said.
It isn't shocking. It's not.
I heard. What was it? BB King had like 16 children. I thought.
What really?
BB King had a bunch of kids. And
see, we were talking before the show. I don't need to. He had 16. Like he made extras for a lot of us that don't.
He had multi-millionaire. You don't need.
There's lots of people like BB King around. Like I don't need to add the number.
I said Ray Charles. Like I saw that Ray movie, and they said, "Oh, he had that one child out of wedlock," and then you find out in real life, Ray Charles had like 8 or 9 kids.
Right, of course.
He was literally dropping kids off with different. He had.
Wasn't he kind of not misogynist? Wasn't he kind of like a little misogynistic? A little bit like. What do I want to say? But
he was racist.
He liked the ladies, though, right? Yeah. But they were like there to service him. Like
I loved, we talked about Taylor Hackford, and with the, because he had directed like Officer and a Gentleman and Lean on Me, and
right?
He directed Ray, and directed Jamie Foxx in that, and they played with the young Ray kind of being a player from the Himalayas. When he would go, he would do these concerts, and the young women would come up to him, and he would do the elbow of the wrist test, where he's like, he's feeling.
Seeing how what their bodies are.
Yeah, he puts his. Like Jamie Foxx is like grabbing the women by the wrist, and that lesson. But they do that one scene where that overweight woman comes up, and that I was like, I don't know if they would be able to get that scene, because everybody's talking about, oh, you're fat shaming, because like with the
everything nowadays, we can't like
that singer.
We can't ever point out things that actually happen anymore. Like,
because a lot of people
about it. But yes, I know what you're saying.
What was it like last year? Lizzo was at the Lakers game, and they put the camera on her. And she stood up and started twerking, and people were like, "Why is this big ass girl up here twerking? Nobody wants to see that." And then so many people, how dare you fat shame her and everything? And I was like, "Look, I'm a big dude. I know I got rolls. So I got jelly."
But how was her twerking? Was it good?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, okay. You obviously didn't want to see it. That's for sure.
I saw it because it was being shared all over Instagram. No, it was because she had a very revealing outfit on, and I mean, she looked like she's at least 300 something pounds. I probably maybe the cameras maybe she was like 280 or something. She looked like she was in like 300. She looked like she was in triple digits right there. I mean, she looked.
She twerked, but can she twerk?
And then so
that's all that matters.
You're wearing these, and then you bending over and twerking and all that, and I'm like, oh God, no! What are you doing? Stop! What are you doing? And
maybe that's why they should show that stuff on TV.
Oh God, no! It was not.
To remind people what it looks like.
And then but a lot of people on Instagram and YouTube were talking about her, and she actually made some posts because she's like, I am not ashamed of my body, and you're not gonna make me feel ashamed. She, women empowerment and everything. I'm like, okay, look,
It's still unhealthy to be that big.
Yeah, but that's apparently not
I know
nice.
you're not allowed to say that either.
You're not allowed to point out reality to people.
I
So
never, please never.
yeah, but she did her thing, and but like I said, seeing Lizzo twerk, but and she like when she does her concert, she does like twerking on stage and doing all. She's like, I'm doing it for the big girls, and she up there twerking and doing all that. So I'm like, okay,
I'm watching it right now.
and as someone who is plus sized and I do take them by the pound sometimes, but like I have my limits. I have matter of fact, you can check my episode of Sexy Party called Fat Sex.
Oh my God!
Yeah, please. There are you can find those episodes on the JillStream playlist as well.
Yeah. I find it funny that all those episodes are on the playlist of.
Yeah, well, I mean, like they're my old podcast, so I didn't want to get rid of them.
Funny.
So like they're part of it. They're not.
I'm not associated with them at all, people.
Jill is not associated with my perversity, but if you are listening to us on one of the other streaming platforms, you can scroll back because we've got like 56 episodes total that have been uploaded from various podcasts and stuff that I've done. But you can check out the sexy parties that I did with like Sashi and Anna and stuff like that, and Mad Weirdo. You can check some of those out. But I highly recommend Fat Sex. That was one of my favorite ones. Fat Sex, Sex Jesus. Sex Jesus was also another one of my favorite sexy party episodes. They're Sex Jesus. That was a very interesting episode. Where I talked about and this is a young lady I met online. I met a young lady online. We were on a dating app called OkCupid, and I'm on so many.
How many?
Oh God, hold on. Let me see. We got Meow Cat in the chat. Let me put this up on the screen. Let me see. Antonio, being plus size is like saying Titanic. Okay, fair enough. But I'm fat, and like I said, I don't necessarily. Here's the thing: I'm okay with. I have accepted my fat body, but I don't want to show everyone my rolls and my stretch marks and all that. Let me say that. Unless
she obviously didn't mind, or the torture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, someone like Lizzo, and some people are like, wow, she's so brave. She has her body, and she knows she's a big woman, and she owns it, girl. You go out and you twerk, Lizzo. You know what I mean? Like they're doing that whole thing. No, I want Lizzo to be happy and to be able to be a big woman and not be harassed. But when you put on like a string bikini and you bend over and everybody see your ass cheeks flapping in the wind, then expect some comments and feedback about that.
Yeah. I'm not
saying that's just me. That's not me fat shaming anyone. I'm just saying that if you own the hefty side of the game, and someone decides to go, hey, okay, yeah.
It's one of those conversations people don't like to have because it's like, okay, it's not every kid can help their size, and it's great to be comfortable in your own body and not be ashamed of yourself at all. You shouldn't be. That sucks. But should we?
I'm being fat shamed by Meow Cat right now in the chat. Meow Cat is fat shaming me. Said fat and
you don't seem that big.
I'm being fat shamed right now, and that matter of fact, I'm fighting back the tears right now because I'm being fat shamed. And well, I see Sketch Therapy out in the chat, and well, I'm glad you're here now, Sketch Therapy. Thank you for being here.
Oh.
That for some reason did not get the notification. But hey, you're here now. It's like you could be anywhere.
Here now. We're almost done, but you're here. Just kidding.
No, we're gonna go for 3 hours today.
Oh goodness, I'm not sure I can hang that long.
Yeah, I don't think I can hang either. But we're
like talking and being pleasant is so mentally draining.
No, that's
that's
the thing. No. I get what you're saying though, because that's one thing that used to happen. If you listen to a lot of those Sexy Party episodes, by the end of Sexy Party, I was just completely, oh God, I'm exhausted.
Just losing steam.
Oh, I couldn't. I'm like, because it was I would be saying stuff that I would be saying like to a private psychiatrist or something. You know, it's like,
Oh my
I
god.
could not believe, because I would get so many messages. People would DM me.
An advertisement for Sexy Party right there.
They could. I mean, Sexy Party is no more. You know,
Insane.
although I have thought about
but the past episodes exist, is what I'm saying.
yes, the past episodes are all like I said. Matter of fact, let me pull it.
Insight into Antonio's psyche.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me
Those are
pull up the
obviously
thingy. Okay, you can go to anchor.fm/Akari Press, and you can pull up all the Sexy Party episodes along with all the JillStream episodes, and you can leave voicemail.
Oh no.
Yes, you can go. So like sketch therapy, you can go to anchor.fm/Akari Press, and you can click on the message thing, and you can be like, "Hey Antonio, this is sketch therapy. How you doing?" And you can leave a message, and then like as long as it's not too crazy, then when we do the next Friday episode, because we won't be doing that on Wire Wednesdays.
And as Antonio already said, I won't even be hearing them unless he deems them worthy enough.
Let me see.
For my most precious ears.
Let's see. Okay, so Voice of Fire says, Antonio, you don't do Sexy Party anymore. No. Well, it was just hard to. I couldn't find the right women.
Find the right partner.
Yeah, you got to find the right partner, and like Jill isn't a Sexy Party partner.
I'm really not.
Yeah, she doesn't want to talk about like.
I don't have great stories.
Yeah, she doesn't want to talk about like the weird perverted stuff that I would talk about on Sexy Party. But you can listen to those episodes. We did like what?
It would just be me reacting like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would not be good. It would not be good. But JillStream is
nothing.
Yeah, this is Seinfeld. This is the Seinfeld of podcasts.
Right.
Podcast
That's
about
a good way to put it, since we both love Seinfeld.
Yeah, it is the Seinfeld of podcasts, because what we generally do is we kind of, because I don't like to plan the shows out, and a lot of times we let the chat drive the show. So, wait a minute.
For Wire Wednesday, it's structured. We watch The Wire on Wire Wednesdays, and we're going to be on episode 7 or 6.
We're on episode 7 of The Wire. We're on episode 7.
That's the most structure we have.
Wire Wednesdays has a thing, because it's Wire Wednesdays, and then we let you guys know in advance that we're going to be watching.
But it's totally spoiler filled. Just FYI, like if you care.
I've already watched every episode of The Wire multiple times.
I'm letting the viewers know though that if they're tuning in and haven't seen it and care, we go all over the place with The Wire, is what I'm saying.
So tune in and watch it again with us with a kind of a director's commentary. Sure. Anybody that likes director's commentaries, because I enjoy. Some people don't like director's commentaries, but that's one of the things I go to when I get like a brand new Blu-ray disc. I'll watch the movie, and then I'll watch it again with the Blu-ray, so I can hear the directors and the producers talk about different things that happen on the set. Like I was watching the Lord of the Rings thing, and I didn't know the guy that he stepped on. They had some there was a sea urchin or something in the river.
I'm trying to think. I've seen those so many times. The extended edition, all the extra scenes, every single.
The guy that played Frodo's assistant.
Samwise.
The guy who plays Samwise.
Your friend Antonio.
They were shooting in the river, and he had his Hobbit shoes on, and there was apparently some kind of mollusk or whatever kind of sea creature, something. There was a spike, and it shot right through his foot.
I remember that story. They were like pooled with blood and stuff.
He stepped on the thing, and he stepped on it. They fixed him up, and he had to kind of.
Those DVD sets are filled with.
Yeah, it had all kind of information. Okay, so let me get. Okay, so Voice of Fire. Let me get Voice of Fire. So what happened to those 2 girls you just said? Okay, well, one of them was Sashi. You can still see Sashi. Sashi's still on Twitter. She's just doing her art. I mean, I know she worked on all the Jawbreakers campaigns, doing pinups, and she's done for Tim Lim on his like Common America and a couple other campaigns. I had wanted her to do something for Brand a couple years ago and draw like a pinup or something. I love her stuff. She does kind of like chibi style, and I love Sashi's art, and she's such a cool person. But she was my original host on Sexy Party. The second host was Anna, who is the Coon Raiser, She raises raccoons, and I love her to death. But she actually told me she got anxiety before we went on the air anyway, and so it made her nervous that so many people were responding to it, because sexy people love Sexy Party. They loved that podcast. That's why I wanted to keep podcasting. But, this gives me an opportunity to broadcast and talk to people and still do a podcast. And
are you still open to Sexy Party if you can find
someone I had that kind of chemistry with that I thought worked? Then I would do Sexy Party in a heartbeat. It wouldn't even be a question.
Yeah,
it was like I would do Sexy Party and it wouldn't even be a question. But you have to it has to be the right person. It has to be the right person I have that chemistry with and everything. And shout out to Tara, Mad Weirdo, and stuff. And people right towards the end, people started flagging my streams and stuff, and it was going crazy. So I just got exhausted. So I'm like, I wouldn't really bother. There's got to
be someone with some stories, with some Sexy Party stories to contribute for sure.
She had an interesting life. She lived. She kind of lived. Where she was doing like the dom stuff and the submissive. They were doing. She was in the like cuckolding and different. She had some. Those episodes are up though. Those are up. Let me see. And Jay Hayes says, "I can't drive a show. Too much responsibility." Well, all right. Let me see. Okay, so Sketch Therapy said, "Okay, we're in charge. You guys can talk about movie trailers. You can talk about." Chadwick is a Chad, and Ray Fisher Cyborg is a wimp, and we can talk about Snyder Cut Keanu. Oh man, that Keanu on.
I haven't watched the new Bill and Ted yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. I've seen. My boy went to see it the other day, and he loved it. But then I see other people saying it sucks, so I don't know.
I know what to expect. I don't think I'm going to think it sucks. I think it's going to be exactly what I expect. I bet. I don't know. But
Keanu,
ready for it. I like Alex Winter.
Keanu Reeves Berserker comic Kickstarter over 354,000 in the first 24 hours. I'm sure it's considerably higher now because they had some tiers that were like $1,500 that got sold out. Where it would like sign limited edition, all this kind of stuff, like where Keanu Reeves would actually
right. Right. Like his hand touched a pen that touched this paper.
A question for Jill. Let me get Jill. What's the fire says? Jill, is that yarn behind you and you mad crotchy?
I don't know what that last part means.
I'm assuming he's wanting to know if you like.
Crochet. Is that what he means, or is
I'm assuming though?
I'm going to say yes. That is my yarn back there.
Let me get a
some crocheting.
Let me do a close up of Jill.
I do have one of my. Oh no!
Jill.
No, that's fine. I'm just kidding. Oh. Yeah, that's my yarn. That's my Lucha Underground pictures. Melissa Santos, Dario Cueto. Here's a little sneak peek of something I'm working on.
She just held up a blanket.
A blanket. It's going to be a Twin Peaks blanket.
Oh, Twin Peaks. She is a fan of the Peaks.
I am a fan of the Peaks. I don't have anything Twin Peaks related around me at the moment.
So let me get Sketch Therapy. Sketch Therapy says, Anna, that raccoon girl, not this guy. Yeah, my Anna, because that's the way you spell
raccoon girl.
My Anna was ANA. And then that Star Wars girl that's the way you spell that Star Wars girl's name's Anna. But my Anna was Anna ANA, and she was a Russian Jew. And very much.
Okay.
Well, she's got a Russian last name. That's why I said that. It's like Grigorovich or some shit. It's like something I couldn't spell. She was from Yonkers up in New York. She was her voice. It was so funny listening to her.
She's a Yonkers, New York Jill.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Was she from Russia?
She lived in New York. No, but she lived in New York. She lived in New Jersey. She lived in Philadelphia. She lived in Las Vegas. She lived.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she lived
everywhere.
I think she said she lived in Ohio too. She sound like when she talks about her childhood, it sounds like she traveled around a lot. But she used to do some stuff. But listen to those episodes when Anna took over and took Sashi's place. I thought those were some of our best episodes because, like I said, I've known Anna now about 12 years. And
would she, do you think, ever be open to doing like 1 or 2 a year or something, or
She
like
said
little
she
special
would.
episode or something that isn't live that maybe you guys like just do
No, she
and
said
record
she
and
would
throw up?
come back and do an occasional episode here and there, but she just, I don't know. She told me she didn't want me to like depend on her to do the stream. I was like, man, I thought the whole point of this is I'm trying to build this podcasting platform up, and we're building an audience. There are people that are listening to this. I'm looking at my analytics. And I'm like, not just they're in the US.
Shocking.
I'm looking, I saw my analytics, and it's telling me people in like Russia are listening, people in Canada are listening, listeners in Argentina and Australia and different places. So we're getting an audience. But we just have to keep creating the content. So this is they're listening to the wire shows, they're listening to the main podcast. So I'm saying we're building an audience because we're doing this consistently, and people will know. And there's some people that are just subscribed on like Spotify or whatever, and they're just listening. So there are people listening. The more we do this, the more consistent we put these programs out. People are finding them, and that is okay. Good question from Sketch Therapy. Let me no, my bad, not Sketch Therapy. Voice on Fire. Let me see. Are y'all going to watch The Boys on Prime? I started watching season 1.
I have not. I haven't even tried it yet.
Apparently, is that hot fire, and I haven't seen it yet.
And they're coming out with season 2, correct?
I think it's already out.
Or it is out. I just see a trailer for it or whatever.
But let me get
Sketch Therapy. Still haven't checked it out. Yeah.
Let me see. Sketch Therapy said,
Bill and Ted, exactly.
Yeah, for Bill and Ted.
That's exactly what I expect. I have no expectations except
so like if you
have some fun, and and then I'll watch the Red Letter Media review.
Sketch Therapy says his grandma used to do macrame style knitting, but it's difficult. Her hands can't do. Also,
it does. You'd have to, every once in a while, like.
Okay. So it just came out today. Okay, Voice of Fire said that it just came out today because I was like,
The Boys.
Yeah, it just came out season 2. So, but I'm an Amazon Prime member, so yes. I definitely know that. Sketch Therapy says, I am mostly joking. I'm trying to lighten the mood, bring some topics. If we're in charge, we have to give you something to work. Well,
I know. I thought he was like, they were all upset. Like, oh my goodness.
No.
Well, I mean, we'll do the work.
Heavy. Yeah, we haven't been like, man,
we're cool. We're cool. We're cool.
Let's see. We started off talking about Chadwick Boseman. Then we kind of talked about some of my horrible dating experiences, which that was
we barely touched on that. I remember we're over an hour and a half right now, but I remember you said you kind of wanted to talk about some of that stuff.
Well, that's why I was kind of leading that's why I was talking about the episode of Sexy Party called Fat Sex. I actually met the young lady on that I talked to do the episode. I met her on an app called Woo Plus.
Woo Plus?
Woo Plus, WOO Plus. So it's called Woo Plus, and it's more of a dating app for people that are. Although I see non overweight people on there, but it was advertised to me as someone who is an overweight person. So it was like
also looking for an overweight person for the most part, or
that's. But I noticed now that when I go on there, there's all kind of women on there that aren't overweight. They're just regular women. But so I was like, I think they're just like, I don't care if you're overweight, and they're there. But Woo Plus was advertised to me as a place where plus size singles could meet.
Are there any of these apps that still exist if you actually want a relationship that isn't just sex?
Or
is it just all like, do you want to bang? No? All right, I'm moving on. Or like, how do you go? Like, if you want an actual relationship with somebody, how do you actually go out and find them?
Well, see, here's the thing. I had a buddy of mine, and I was talking to him about online dating the other night. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I've done some online dating. He said, what's that one app? He said, it begins with a T, and I kind of hooked up with some girls on there. And I said, Tinder? And he goes, yeah. He said, man, I met a couple of chicks on there, but he said, those weren't really lasting relationships. I said, dude, Tinder's not a dating app. Tinder is.
See, I don't know that shit myself, except that I know that.
Tinder is specifically designed for people that are trying to hook up. You should not go on Tinder expecting to meet someone that's going to last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what Tinder was created for. That's why you swipe left and swipe right. That's the whole point of it.
It's supposed to be a fast bing bang boom sort of thing.
Do you find this person attractive? Does that person find you attractive? Okay, you find her attractive. Boom, and then like if they had swiped on you, oh okay, because when you swipe,
that's so crazy to me. Like I can't. That's just not me though. Like I don't want to go out and just have sex with someone I don't know. Like to me, that's like kind of. I'm going to sound like a prude, but to me, it feels like dirty or something. Like I don't know where this person's been.
And Voice of Fire says that Plenty of Fish is my main hunting ground. Okay, well I've been on Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish, like say 5 or 6 years ago, it used to be real dope. I met a couple of young ladies on there and had some fun. But man, it's way too spammy now. They need to tighten it up. I'm not a paid member though. Maybe it'll probably be different if I was a paid member.
It's a Tinder one? It's a sex one or like mainly for hooking up?
They actually ask you like Plenty of Fish actually ask you like relationship stuff. So they try to pair you with people that have common interests. Oh, you like football? This person likes football. You like basketball? This person.
But,
you like
sure, but is it still just about sex though? Is it relationships?
No, I just like I said, I don't. It's Plenty of Fish is supposed to be more actually trying to find a
person to be with.
Yeah, but Tinder is about hooking up. And Tinder is about hooking up. Like you should not go on the Tinder app expecting to meet a soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
It's specific. Now you might get lucky and meet someone that you like there and all that. And I actually met someone on Tinder, but we kind of hooked up and then we saw each other a couple times and it was over after that. That's what it was.
So then you didn't really meet someone on Tinder.
I met a.
I mean, obviously you met them. I mean, it happened.
Yeah, I met I met a partner for mutual sexual activities.
But it didn't really.
No, it wasn't a relationship. No, it definitely wasn't for a relationship. It was just there. If it had turned and I liked her at first and then I didn't like her and she didn't like me. So, let's see. I don't pay. I actually moved up age wise.
How old are you, Voice of Fire? That's the real question.
Fire is making me wonder. I was like, okay.
Is he finding a sugar mama, or is that his actual age range?
Yeah, I'm hearing Voice of Fire playing like Bob Dylan songs to pick chicks up.
Oh, I'm thinking of Ring of Fire. I'm thinking of Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire in my head.
Oh, well that's still same time. Oh, yeah. 39. Oh my God, what's 5 years? Okay, so it's nothing wrong with liking older women though.
That's how old I am.
Yeah,
soon to be 40. I'm soon to be 40.
Oh, soon to be 40. Oh,
next month actually.
Wow. Okay, are we gonna stream on your 40th birthday? That'll be awesome.
I don't know. Let me look at the calendar.
Well, people will. I mean, we can do a special birthday JillStream.
Well, we could, but it all kind of depends on. I mean, it's my birthday. I want to do what I want, so it kind of depends on if I want to or not. Let's come on.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, but I'm just being honest.
You want to hang out with me?
Let me see here. 24. Okay, it's not on one of our days, but you know, it is a day where you'll probably be at work, so I'll just probably be here. So yeah, it's possible.
Voice of Fire says it's what I started with. I always liked older. Okay. What's up?
Hey, I like older. I can't say I don't.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So, like, let me see what all the different sites I've been on. Let me think. Okay, so I've been on Tinder.
Oh my gosh, how many? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm naming them. Tinder, Plenty of Fish, Woo Plus, OkCupid, Match.com.
Have you done Christian Mingle?
Meatville.
Meatville? Wait, how's it spelled?
MEET.
Oh, okay.
VILLE.
My mind went to the other meat, and then I had other thoughts. It just sounded like even more of a this is definitely just for sex. This is the Meatville, people.
Oh God.
MEATville.
And then there's another one called Bumble. I hated that.
I've heard of Bumble.
Yeah, Bumble.
Is that all about butts and bums?
No.
What?
Oh God! It's
Bumble sounds like it'd be like if you're into bums.
Bumble is
not the British thing
because the women are in control of Bumble.
Wait, what?
Just like in a beehive, the females run.
Oh, wait.
That's why it's called
Bumble.
because the women are in control on Bumble. You can't
A bumblebee. Okay, now I'm getting it.
like a beehive. So Bumble, yes. Oh, what's fire? I have used Facebook dating, and I met one girl on there, and we were talking, and then we just got on each other's nerves, and so we decided we were gonna.
That's
She was like she was in Laverne. She was just like,
obviously not gonna work.
She was only about 30. She was only about 30 minutes away. She was a security officer, and she had all these photos with her gun and stuff. She had her sidearm on her, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." It just got weird, but yeah, Facebook dating needs to be refined a little bit, but yeah. So let me see. Okay, so let me see. I said, oh yeah, so I said Bumble. The whole point of Bumble is like, okay, they do the swipe left, swipe right thing, right? But the women have to choose you. You can't choose. So it's like, hey, do you like this woman?
So you have no control as a man unless someone picks you.
Yeah, so the women have to pick you on Bumble. If you don't get picked, then that's just what it is. The women have the power. And the whole and Bumble came out of the Craigslist killings. That's why, because that was why, boy, I used to talk about.
You've done that, right?
Craigslist that's what I used to.
That sounds wild to me. That sounds like the Wild West or something.
Do you understand? I used to be.
I'm sure there's wilder out there. But.
Oh no, they shut Craigslist dating down. Craigslist was my shit. I love Craigslist. Craigslist was so lit. I had specific ads. I had drafts of specific ads that I would run depending on what I'm.
Craigslist like an old school newspaper, like, at singles ads in the back or whatever. Like,
yeah,
is it kind of like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole point of Craigslist is to put classified ads in, right? So
right, classified. That's what I'm thinking. Classified.
So they're doing classified ads, but you can put pictures up, and sometimes but most people actually didn't put pictures up, and most of the ads I saw on Craigslist, they didn't have pictures, but the person would be like, "Hey, I'm 29." I'm looking for specific things, this kind of thing. So
have you ever, like, just out in the wild, out in public, like you're at a restaurant or something or anywhere, have you ever just tried to pick up a random woman?
I'm not good at that. That's why I used to hate going to bars. I went to bars with a couple of my friends, and I'd sit there, be drinking alone while they're like catching women.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey man, I'm gonna take her home. Can you get home on your own?" Thanks,
when everyone's like drunk, so like,
yeah,
I don't know. That just seems like a very hazy situation that I don't want to be involved in.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, when you go to bars and stuff, I wasn't very good at that. Another one that I was on was Adult Friend Finder. So, Adult Friend Finder, that is supposed to be, because they have Friend Finder. They had their own Friend Finder. There was Friend Finder and there's Adult Friend Finder. And there was another one called Friendster.
I remember Friendster, I don't remember that name.
I don't hear anybody talk about Friendster anymore. But they used Friend Finder. Adult Friend Finder is very much still active because it's specifically there to hook up. It's got classifieds in there. It's got all kind of, it's got a classified section. It'll let you, you can geo-target it. It's like, I'm gonna be in Chicago over the next 2 weeks.
Are they like open? Is it pretty open as far as like fetish wise? Like, hey, I'm into this thing, and because you're trying to find someone to hook up with what you're into. Yeah,
that's one thing. That's one thing. You just reading the couples section, the classified section on Adult Friend Finder. When you're there, you're like, hey, we're a couple in our 40s. We're looking for another woman to join our fun, that kind of thing. We're looking for another man. There was that was like, that's why I was talking about Craigslist, because you get, I would put Craigslist ads up, and I've talked about this guy on Sexy Party. There was a guy that messaged me, and he lived in Nashville, and he sent me pictures of his wife. They were looking for a bull, I guess. They were looking for a black man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and he offered, and I was attracted to his wife, but I just didn't. But
I assume he would be watching.
Yeah, I wasn't into I wasn't into that. I was just like, yo, you can send her over here though. We can get it.
What if he was watching and you couldn't see him?
That would still make me.
He was watching, but you couldn't see him watching. Would you? Would you do it?
No, it's like, okay, hold up. Apparently, me and Voice of Fire need to talk because he got all the dirt. Okay, Voice of Fire says, "Are you on FetLife?" No. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming the fet stands.
Sounds like I assume too. And I don't. When I say fetish, I don't mean it like in a. I just mean like whatever you're into is your fetish. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Yeah, I've never heard. That's why I'm like I started realizing that's the thing. I started realizing that I'm a little bit more reserved than because I started meeting some of these women online, and I started realizing they were a lot kinkier than I am.
Interesting.
And I started realizing, I thought I was advanced, and I'm a novice. I thought I was.
I just want to respond to Jay Hayes really quick. I've been missing playing D&D, but I've never tried to find I imagine it would be the same to find a D&D group online. Yeah, that would be tough.
Okay, but yeah, so
I like playing D&D.
No, but okay. So I'm not judging you. I'm like judging.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm not judging you. But yeah. Okay, well, yeah, like I said.
Well, I mean, it's FetLife. What are you expecting?
Yeah, it sounds like girls are way too kinky on FetLife. So I'm like, okay. It sounds like you kind of know what you're getting when you walk in the door. If it's called FetLife, it's telling you straight off the gate. Because
if she's holding a whip in her hand in the picture, you know what she's into.
That's one thing. My favorite dating app is OkCupid. I think I've had the most success on OkCupid as far as actually meeting women and actually having successful couplings or whatever. Although they don't last as long but it ends up being, actually getting dates and being able to spend time and watch movies and cuddle with. I've had the most success on OkCupid. So, and I'm on OkCupid now. And there's a young lady, I've been talking to her. She seems like she likes me. I don't know. It's not going as I wanted to proceed a little faster. It seems like but she told me she got out of a relationship and she's not trying to go wait.
Oh, that's like
a red flag.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, she was like,
I hate saying that. You can say that about almost anything, but
yeah,
right there, it's like, okay, well, you don't want to be and maybe you don't care about being a rebound, but if you're looking for someone, you don't want to be a rebound.
Yeah, I definitely. If I'm going to put that kind of time in,
exactly,
and all that kind of stuff, I don't want to.
There's a high chance of it backfiring.
But she told me, she's 30 years old. She likes older guys. Her husband, she had been married for like 2.5, almost 3 years.
Not that long.
Married to a guy. He had 2 kids. Her husband had 2 kids. She has no kids. She wants kids. She's from Louisiana, but she's moved and settled in Nashville now. She's working in Nashville, and pretty, really pretty. I like her, and she seems to not think I'm hideous, but I'm like, when I say it's not progressing as quickly, I kind of want it to move a little faster than what it is moving.
How long have you been talking, may I ask?
I'd say about 10 days now.
Okay.
Yeah, about 10 days.
Do you know what her, has she mentioned anything, like, has she been doing these apps a lot, these dating things? Mr. T-Bear. Hi, Mr. T-Bear.
Our T-Bear, the legend himself, is in the chat.
He's back.
And as a matter of fact, you can go to...
I love art.
Oh, let me do this. Let me do this again. You can go to, I have, because I had Art T Bear on, and we did a very fun live stream interview. And that live stream interview is available at anchor.fm/AkariPress, along with several of my other interviews with like Ethan Van Sciver and let me see, I've got Chuck Dixon, Richard C.
You've basically thrown everything on the JillStream.
There's content there. If you go to anchor.fm/AkariPress, there's a lot of content there. It's you obviously the Jill streams are there, the sexy parties are there, the interviews, and it is. Yeah, there's a lot of content there, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, you can also go to anchor.fm/Akari Press, and we have the voice messaging system on now, so you can actually go on there and leave a voice message, and I will listen to it, and if it is appropriate, I will play it for Jill.
Let me open up that can of worms right
yes.
now.
It's live now. You can actually go to anchor.fm and say, hey, I'm going to leave a voice message for the JillStream, and I will listen to it. And hopefully, if you contribute something decent to the show, then I will deem it Jill appropriate.
Yes.
And we will play your message and respond to it on the air. Yes.
Give us content.
Yes, give us content. So, but yes, but no, like I said, the thing with this young lady is not. It seems like
can you, without, you don't have to like say the exact same thing, but like what was the last exchange that you had? Like what was the vibe of the last exchange?
It was. Oh, matter of fact, let me pull my phone up and like actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you maybe she would mind. I don't know.
Oh God, I got a text message.
You should probably be careful. What, from her?
No, from the other young lady that I met on Craigslist that I talked about on the cream pie episode of Sexy Party. And that is yes. Okay,
oh, you've got some things going on here. Interesting.
Yeah, well, that's a sure thing, and it's just not working. Okay, so.
Is that the one we've been talking about, or is that the other one that you want that hadn't?
The one that I want is on OkCupid right now.
Okay.
The 30-year-old that's gotten divorced, likes older men and all that.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm thinking you should tread carefully with that one. I don't like the just being out of a relationship thing.
Okay. So we talked. We talked last night, and she, just it's basically, how's your day going? Blah blah blah. I'm good. Don't she's like, I've been pretty good, can't complain. And I'm like, sure you can complain about something, anything, I'll listen. And she's like, no, I'm good. Don't need to right now, but I'll keep that in mind next time I get annoyed about something.
Oh my God, this is like so a world I'm not a part of like at all anymore. Yeah. Like I'm so happy about that. I'm so glad.
And so and then so I sent her another message and she hadn't answered yet, but she's not on. She's not on yet. She normally says she works and then she comes on around like 8 or so.
Have you approached the topic of, because see, this around this whole Corona thing and all the virus stuff, like, have you said anything at all? Like is she willing to go out somewhere, or has it really just been
I'm going too slow? I think I'm going too slow and I'm not.
Maybe put something forth about something. Like
I'm a pussy. I don't like. I'm like, I want the women to be like, yo. So when do you want to have dinner or something?
I mean, the worst she can do is stop texting you back and reject you. I mean, and honestly, that's not going to kill you. Okay, like you'll move on to the next.
I kind of I kind of want her to either just go, look, you seem like a sweet guy, but I just think this isn't a good time for me right now. If she said that would be okay, because that would be like, okay, stop investing your time in her.
But she hasn't done that, so that could be a sign that she is waiting for you to maybe make the first move, whatever that move is. I don't even like. Can you go out somewhere? Or you said you can go out to a restaurant.
Yeah, you can go. You just have to wear your mask when you go in. Like, you have to wear your mask.
That should prove to be a pretty interesting date, though. Like in these times, like.
Yeah,
these are just new stories for future sexy parties.
And like
Corona dates.
It hadn't even been 2 weeks since we've been talking, so I don't know if she'd want to. She may think I'm a crazy weirdo stalker and may not.
Well, she may think that, but who cares?
I don't know. I'd rather.
Does it matter? Does it matter if she thinks you're crazy?
It's going slower than I want, so I definitely.
How can she think you're a stalker when you're both in this doing the same thing? You're both on OkCupid. You're both texting each other. It doesn't sound like you've done anything stalker-ish, so I wouldn't worry about that. Like, you don't worry about that.
I don't know. I worry about it because sometimes, like, I've noticed I get, especially when I used to originally online date. The first time I ever met a person that I met online in real life, they actually came to my house, was on Adult Friend Finder. I met that there was a young lady. She was a redhead. I thought she was cute, and she had a crazy name like Cat Eyes 92 or some shit. It was like crazy, and I said, "Why do you call yourself Cat?" And she was like, "Oh," she said, "because she said I just love cats. I love," and she actually had contacts. She had custom contacts.
Oh no, these are cat is a red flag for me because I hate
it was. Cats. She actually had cat contacts, and
no, that's funny.
And I made the mistake. Here's the mistake. This is something. This is an early lesson that This was me going to school in the online dating game. When you put your profile up, you should have pictures on your profile. Or if you don't have pictures, you should have pictures available to show. Because like when I would not put pictures on my, because one thing I noticed when I
start texting with them or something
yeah. On Craigslist, what I would notice is I would get women say, "Hey, do you got pictures?" And I go, "Yes." And I would send a picture, and then they would see me and they go, "Oh no, I don't like him." And then they wouldn't send a picture back. And then I'd be like, so what I started doing is I said, I absolutely have pictures, and I will send you pictures if you send me one. So that's what I do. So,
game.
So I had to flip it on them. So that way, because I noticed when I would send
that way, you at least get a picture.
Yes, I would get a picture. So I was like, you send me a picture, and I have pictures that I will send you. But if you don't send me a picture, I'm not sending you one. Because I noticed when I would send a picture, I'd send a picture first and they wouldn't send. I know I trust.
It's fair. You're both judging each other. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you both send a picture. Yeah.
Yeah, but I noticed the girl would have me send a picture and I'd send and go, oh no. And no, matter of fact, this is the experience I had. I met a girl and she said, hey, she said, I'm not a paid member. So she said, add me on Kick. But she wasn't that far from me. She was over in Antioch, which is not, it's like a little suburb. She wasn't that far from me. And so I was like, oh, and I saw she had like a little picture. It was a little risque and stuff. I was like, oh shit, she's cute. Okay. So I found her on Kick and I said, hey, I saw your ad. I saw your ad on the dating site and I'd like to talk to you and stuff. And she was like, do you got a picture? And I said, yes, I do. And I sent her a picture. And she also asked me how old I was. And I told her how old I was. She didn't have a problem with that. She wanted older guys because it actually said that in her ad, right? So
you're like, I got that covered.
Yeah. So, but then I sent her a picture of me and I was like, send her a picture. And she looked at my picture and she's like, ew, gross. And then
Are you serious? Was it like a George Costanza picture, Antonio? This one where he's like posing on the couch?
Oh, I remember.
Should I get a picture made of you doing that to have that be your picture you send?
Oh, but she saw me and she said it was gross. She said
that's so mean.
It was just a headshot. I was just like, and she was like, ooh, gross.
Oh my God. Well, you don't want that bitch then anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I just wanted to hook up with her for the night. So
yeah,
I'm like Little Yachty. I just want you for one night. And yeah.
Well, but how are you gonna find your one? How are you gonna find your woman then?
I don't know.
How are you gonna do it?
Therapy is fair. But yeah, she told me it was gross and then she blocked me.
She blocked you. Jeez. Well, I guess after you call someone gross, you can only assume they're going to be a little upset about that.
Yeah, she's like, ooh,
better block them.
She blocked me, and I was like, I was more of a. Then another one, and this one happened on Plenty of Fish. Okay, so I found this chick was gorgeous. I thought she was a little cute. She's plus size, beautiful. I mean, her face just looked cute, little blonde, short blonde hair, just cute. And I sent her a DM. It's like, hi, I'm Antonio. I had pictures up and all this kind of thing. And I was like, hey, I read your profile. I really, I'd like to talk to you if you're willing. I sent her a message like that. She looked at me and she was like, no black guys. And then she blocked me.
Oh my God. And then blocked you.
It was so funny. She said, no black guys. And she blocked me. And I was like, that's another thing I started.
I guess she was straightforward. I mean,
yeah, I was just, Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, yeah, that's Jay Hayes says that's my type of woman.
Which one? One that rejects you?
Yeah, I guess so. Voice of Fire says plenty of fish girls block quick. Yeah, so,
you know what? There must be a good reason for that, honestly.
And then we have Sketch Therapy saying time versus reward must be measured. Sometimes it's better to rent. Yeah, well, prostitute.
It's always an option, that's for sure. There's
but no, yes.
Okay, there's someone we knew. I don't want to go into too many details, but someone, not just always complaining, wanting to get some action and blah, 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 like just drooling over certain, celebrity type women all the time. It's like, dude, you really, at this point, you just need sex. So go out and buy it. Just go out and get sex. Like, just buy what you need because just make your life a little bit happier because it's making you miserable.
Yeah. Well, but
as I said, I wouldn't want to have sex with a total stranger. To me, that's gross.
There is someone now. There is someone right now that I have had sex with that wants to give me more sex that I don't. Yeah,
but I don't think you should.
Yes, I don't want to have sex with this person because it was not a pleasant experience, and so I don't want to have sex with this person, even though we've had sex before. So I definitely do not want to do that. So, yeah, but. Yeah, like I said, no black guys. That is that's funny. Another thing that I've noticed, and matter of fact, I sent you this picture.
Yes.
I am getting picture. I am being recommended several transgender females in my recommended feeds on these dating sites now. They're coming up on Tinder. They're coming up on OkCupid and Plenty of Fish and different things. So it's very frustrating because they have this narrative now where if you don't want to date a trans woman, you're a bigot.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't agree with that. And I'm like, I have no problem. And I need to be very clear about that. If you're trans, be trans. I have no problem with that. But just because I don't want to date you, that doesn't make me a bigot. I'm sorry. Right. I'm not going for that narrative where
the picture you sent me. Okay.
Yes.
How do I put it delicately? Like it doesn't look like a woman.
It was Mrs. Doubtfire.
It just doesn't look like, it looks like a man. And if you like women, that could be a turnoff, like.
And I read the profile, and it was a pre-op transgender, so they hadn't even.
See, to me, that's like a special. I'm going to sound. They're trying to tread carefully. Remember, we were talking about earlier. It's like what you call, you can't fat shame, and we can't. You got to tread very carefully. I feel, but to me, that's its own category. That's kind of like its own category. Like, but but you know what though, Antonio? At least they had it's in their profile, which I think is a good thing because I feel like you should be honest about that. Because if you're gonna be hooking up with someone, you don't want a crying game moment,
And although to be fair, Forrest Whitaker found out the secret in the crowd. Forrest Whitaker knew the secret and he loved it. And then what was the guy?
He loved it.
Loved it, and then I can't remember his name, the guy that fell in love with the.
Was it Gabriel Byrne? Was that no? That's not who it was. Who was it? I'm looking it up right now.
It
wasn't Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, he found out the secret, and it wasn't a deal breaker.
Stephen Ray was that his name?
Yeah, Stephen Ray found out the secret. He found out the secret, and he was.
Remember when that came out? That was such a thing when the Crying Game came out.
That movie. See now, there's so much of this material out there on television. Like I said, shows like Queer as Folk have come out. They had the Queer as Folk, the original Queer as Folk, which was in the UK, and then they did a American version of Queer as Folk, and they've got a whole network.
The new Queer Eye series on Netflix actually deals with a lot. There's a few. Well, there's one female to male transgender.
I'm just saying, if you are LBGTQIA, I have to add those.
What's IA?
I used to know. hold on, see, because let's see, lesbian, gay, transgender,
Is
bi.
A asexual? I'm
Oh
assuming
yeah,
A is asexual. But what's I?
I'm not sure what the I is, but someone might be able to
I've
tell us.
heard a lot of different terms where I'm like, wait, this is a thing? That's not like. See, I don't
Because
want to be considered rude. So
my former fiance, she came after we broke up. She told me that she was asexual and that she wished she had told me that when we started having relations.
You guys had sex and she was asexual?
Yeah, she told me she was just having sex with me to make me happy.
Oh, that is kind of sad. I mean, for her, like.
Oh boy, this one's
Well, that's a
getting
different intercept.
This is spike the chat. Okay,
But how
I don't know what that is.
Is that quite common though? Incel? No, I don't think LGBTQ would include incels in their. Sorry, I just don't think they would include incels in that group. That would be hilarious if it was incels. Like, just everybody. You know what? Just
because it's like
straight, gay.
Because I know the Q stands for questioning, whether you're not sure if you're gay or straight.
Oh, really? It's not queer anymore? I thought it used to just be queer.
And
I'm not saying that jokingly. I thought it was queer.
No,
see,
queer is more of a all-encompassing term because but that's what I thought it was like originally. Like it was LGBTQ. Like Q was kind of like everything else. But nowadays, I'm sure it's different. I was on. I know forums. I'm probably wrong. Yeah, I was on some forums and they were discussing the Q meant more questioning. Like I'm not sure if I'm gay or straight. You know, I'm questioning. I may be asexual. I don't know if I'm. You know what I'm saying? That kind of. It seemed like they were questioning their sexual identity.
Oh, we're getting into some. I have a question. I'm not gonna ask this question on air.
Yeah, use BGL. Yeah, that's why I was like, so the whole thing. That's why I'm saying, you have to be careful because, like I said, we don't want to. I'm not trying to.
It's not about it. Yeah, it's not about offending anybody ever. I'm like,
if you are part of that community, and here's a perfect opportunity right now. If you are part of that community and you want to educate myself and Jill,
totally,
you can go to anchor.fm/Akari Press and leave me a voice message. I am more than happy to listen to you. Maybe if
we're open to education,
we're not saying this to discriminate, but I am saying that if I don't want to date someone that is transgender, I am not a homophobe. That does not make me transphobic or homophobic because I don't want to date someone that's transgender.
Not being part of the lesbian scene, I think I've heard that's also become quite an issue in that scene as well. Like they're bigots because they don't want to date. Yeah. It's like, but I like women. They're like, but I am a woman. And they're like, it's not the same.
If you're gay, that's
like a whole conversation.
Totally, yeah, I have no problem with you. Because that whole thing about phobic and phobias. Oh, you're afraid of it. No, I'm not afraid of gay. I am very secure in my masculinity and my sexuality.
Like if a dude hit on you, you'd be like, oh no, I'm cool, and kind of laugh it off.
I would let you know. I would be like,
well, of course,
I don't get down like that. But do you? Hope you go find somebody. I've got gay friends. They've been in my house and we done broke bread together. You feel me?
They've been in your house?
Yeah, they've been in my house.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not even tripping like that. I'm saying he came over.
Of course not. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he was one of my coworkers, and he brought his boyfriend over, and we had barbecue.
Why would it be a thing? People are people.
That is But I just noticed.
But as long as they're not assholes, you're allowed in my house.
Yeah.
And even then.
Yeah, this is where you go.
I join communities. Is that a joke because he does join communities?
I don't know.
I don't join communities ever at all.
Your dad says you're fine, Antonio. Anyone who expects you to date them is being disingenuous. Well, like I said,
we all like what we like, okay? And if you want an actual vagina to stare at, okay, yes, I'm going to say that. Then you want a certain type of woman. I'll just put it that way.
Yes. But if you are trans, then I hope you find a partner that wants to be with you.
And they're totally out there. You see that stuff all the time. Yeah, you see couples like that. They're around. Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, I hope you find someone that is, that loves you for you. There's the, it's like I said, I'm not like, yeah, go get these people, blah, blah, blah. All this kind of, no, that's not
but
what.
Honestly, like the picture you texted me last night, it was like, you're not swiping. Is it swipe right or left if you like them?
You swipe right if you're interested. You swipe.
Okay, well, you're not swiping right on that picture.
That was
not.
Clear.
Like, you are just not going to.
I saw the picture.
But again, I appreciate that they are straightforward about it. Like, I am transgender. Yeah.
I saw that. And I knew when I saw the picture, I was like, that appears to be someone that was at least born a male. And then I clicked on the profile and it's like, and it says, let's get the elephant out of the room.
You're like, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, so they put it out. They put it out there. Okay. Congratulations on Palpatine joining the trans community through his plan to become Rey. Yes, that was interesting in Star Wars. That's we find out.
I saw it once. I've already erased it from my mind.
Yeah, you saw the Rise of Skywalker because So apparently, Rey was they had Palpatine clones, and one of the Palpatine clones escaped and fell in love with a woman and had Rey, and then they took Rey and dropped her off on what was that, Baku? Was it or Jakku?
I don't know, some sand planet. I don't know.
I think it's Jakku, not Baku. Jakku.
Whatever.
So they dropped. So apparently Rey was the daughter of a Palpatine clone and some woman.
Apparently,
they dropped her off on Jakku so that Palpatine would not get his filthy clutches on her and be able to transfer his Force essence into her body and become a woman, I guess. More than a woman.
More than a woman to me.
Oh shit! See, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing with my hands.
Yeah, is that one of your moves?
But either
most of my moves are like lower body moves. You gotta. I think women like it's like lower body moves, or you do like you shake your boobs.
See that anyway. But so this person, but along with the person that I actually am interested in speaking with, there. But I will say this: I was on Woo Plus the other night, and I swipe left and swipe right, and the young lady that I'm talking to on OkCupid, her profile came up.
Oh.
And of course, I swiped right on it because I obviously do like her.
Right.
But I thought that was interesting. And somebody was like, "So she's on another dating site?" And I was like, "Well, I'm on." I'm on like 7 different sites, so I'm not her.
You guys are everyone who's on these sites are probably on multiple, right? If you're doing this thing.
There was a woman I met on Craigslist, and I found her on. I found her on OkCupid. I found her on Woo Plus. I've seen her on Plenty of Fish. I've seen her on all the different sites that I be on. So, Voice of Fire says lower body.
No way, man. Only for those super chats, right, Antonio?
She will dance for super chat.
Well, maybe we'll see. No, I would. I'd dance for a super chat, of course.
If it's that's what I was saying. Like you could do on the birthday stream. We could do the birthday stream and put your cash out there, and people could
put your cash out there. I don't know if I want to sell myself on my birthday.
Well, the reason I say that is because we did Mad Weirdo. She used to get super chats on Sexy Party when we were doing it. We put her cash app in there, and she got a couple of tips. She got like $5-10 tips and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, at least you getting paid.
That's
yeah. I didn't get any, but I didn't get any super chats. But she was.
Well,
they were sending her the money.
Maybe next time, show your tits.
Yeah, show your boobs. Show your boobs.
Let's see your cleavage.
Okay. Well,
on that note,
the JillStream for today is coming to a close.
Going a while.
Yeah, we've been going almost 2.5 hours, so we've done a good show. I will upload this, and please come back tomorrow because let me. Okay,
wait, tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm doing Shelby Robertson.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, and I'm the only one that missed. What are you talking about?
I've got a live stream interview with Shelby Robertson tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about his art book. We're going to talk about working at Image Comics and working with Rob Liefeld and all this stuff. And so if you're a comic book head, come back tomorrow night. Shelby Robertson, we're going to have him here live, and we're going to have some fun and talk
comic books.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about comic books, but you can catch the JillStream every Wednesday and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be back on Wednesday for episode 7 of The Wire on Wire Wednesdays. It is actually called One Arrest. That is what episode 7 of season 1 is called. We will be checking that out. Of course, you can catch the replay of this broadcast at anchor.fm/AkariPress. You can go over there. Please leave us a voice message and tell us how much we suck or say nice things. And, we like to be showered. You can leave a voicemail for us that I'm very much looking forward to see who actually does this. So anchor.fm/AkariPress and click the message button and record a quick little voicemail for us and go, hi, Antonio. Hi, Jill. Matter of fact, I've been wanting to do an Ask Jill segment.
Oh, God.
Like say people ask you like questions like
I will tell you nothing.
Yeah, so I'm very curious about that. But you can also catch the JillStream on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're also on Google, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Breaker. We own like
just type it in the search engine and see what
trust
comes
me.
up or
but
something.
The easiest place to find us is anchor.fm/AkariPress. But if you are already on listening to us on one of those other platforms like iHeartRadio, just lock it in so that when we upload new episodes that you'll get that notification. We are also streaming to our good friends on Facebook on Planet EJOBN. Each and every week, we thank you guys over there. I see some of you guys have liked the stream and all that kind of stuff. Been getting some interaction over there. And of course, if you are listening on another platform and you actually want to hang out live in the chats, it is youtube.com/AkariPress. And let me see. Okay, I'm trying to see that. So we got some last minute questions. Let me see, make sure. Let's see, remember swipe left. I think for Jill, I was like, yeah. Well, swipe right for JillStream. And then swipe left if you think we suck. Sketch Therapy says I'm still hanging with Uncle Hotep and Hotep Jesus in the chat. Thanks for having Uncle. Man, I need to. I've tried to get Uncle Hotep to come back. Because I went on with Uncle Hotep on his channel. I want to get him on and talk to him. I've got some other interviews coming up that I think you guys will dig.
Cool.
And then definitely swipe right on the JillStream. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube, all at AkariPress. And if you type in AkariPress.com, it takes you to Brand Way of the Gun. We are $200 short of hitting the 29K. So we're jumping up there. We're $200 and we're right there crossing the 29K mark. So thank you guys so much for supporting Brand Way of the Gun. We're very proud of that book. Me and Kanan are working our asses off to try to make the best comic book possible. Obviously, check us out on Teespring and Amazon.com and get those brand shirts and everything that we've got up on there. And Jill, is there anything else you would like to say?
Nothing.
No. Well, see, there you go. Thank you, Jill. Bienvenue.